sitting down with us right now is a very accomplished person that you may have never heard of before. This is Luis Perez. He is a former NFL, UFL quarterback. He's played for the Rams twice. He's played for the Birmingham Iron, the Vegas Vipers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Arlington Renegades, the Detroit Lions, the Guardians of New York, the Chargers of Los Angeles again, the New Jersey Generals, and the Arlington Renegades. He was an XFL champion, a Division II champion. This is insane. Luis Perez, pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me on, Mike.
Now, I will tell you that I am not very knowledgeable when it comes to sports. And Luis came over here and was talking to Gio, and I kind of was half paying attention. And he said that he was pitching himself, and he said that he was a former quarterback. And I said, okay, whatever. He probably has a charity or something. And and then I heard these two keywords: professional bowler. And I go, oh, what is that all about? And then I read down in the bio, didn't play high school football. Professional bowler turned NFL quarterback. Now, you might stop and say, oh, how did he learn how to play quarterback? Did he hire a special quarterbacks coach? Learned how to play quarterback on YouTube. This is one of the best stories I've ever heard in my life. Bring it back to high school. Why didn't you play sports in high school?
So it was one of those things where, as a kid, I always wanted to play quarterback. Like, It was a dream. I took the ball everywhere. I slept with the football, took it to the aisles in the store, throw it around my brothers.
Right.
It was an obsession.
You were that pain in the ass kid we used to see in the store. Yeah,
yes, I was. Knocking stuff down.
Right,
that was me. So finally, I ended up saying, you know what? Like, I want to play in the NFL, so I'm going to pursue this dream. So I ended up doing that. My freshman year of high school, I ended up trying out. And he's like, well, we're kind of full at the quarterback position. We might be a tight end. So I go to tight end for like 2 weeks of practice, and I'm like, you know what? This is not for me, right? Now, at that same time, that's when my bowling career was peaking. So I remember leaving practice.
This is something that not too many people get to say. My bowling. How do you know how good of a bowler you were? Like, you were bowling in high school?
Yeah, so I started off when I was about 12 years old.
Right.
And started small. Went for a birthday party.
Yeah.
Then loved it. Got my own shoes, got my own ball, joined the league, started competing. Just kind of snowballed.
Throwing from the side with the big curve?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Big curve guy.
Hitting 300s?
Oh, yeah. I got 12 of them.
What? 12 of them?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry. So you're excelling at bowling. You don't like tight end. So you leave football for bowling.
So I leave football for bowling. I'm
not
like,
a lot in the chick category there in the bowling.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know what? Like, I'm rushing out of practice playing tight end, something I don't love, and I have to rush to my leagues. I'm tired. Like, I'm not bowling as good because I'm tired from. So I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna bowl. So I bowled all throughout high school. Now, what changed everything was it was the last home game my senior year of high school. Now, keep in mind, I didn't go to any football games. I was just focused on bowling.
Right.
But I still had buddies that were on the team. So they ended up convincing me, hey, come out to the game. It's the last one. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll go. So I go to the game.
To dress for the game or just to watch it?
No, to watch it from the stands.
Okay.
Yeah, to watch it. So I go to the game, and I remember sitting in the stands and watching all my buddies run through the tunnel, and I'm like, full body chills, like, whoa, like, why am I not down there? Like, why am I here?
We don't do that in bowling.
Yeah, definitely not. So I'm like, man, like, no, I have to put this bowling on pause. Like, I could bowl when I'm 50, 60 years old. Like, my football dream is so small. Like, I only have a short window to really pursue this.
But are you afraid that that's running away from you now? Because here you are, you missed the whole season.
For sure. Like, reality hit me almost like, I have this NFL dream in the back of my mind, but I'm not doing anything for it. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm bowling. So I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to pursue football. And that's when I decided, hey, you know what? I got to learn. And I got to learn somehow. So I went on YouTube. So I got on YouTube, started learning, watching videos relentlessly. Like, there was an obsession with, like, I wanted to be an NFL quarterback.
Listen to me. I got a remote thermostat in my house, and I needed to program it so that I could operate it from my phone. That I learned how to do on YouTube.
There you go.
How did you think you were going to learn how to play quarterback on YouTube? What kind of lessons are there on there?
So there's a lot, not only just from watching highlights, right? Watching highlights from guys, just watching them, right? But there's also, like, instructional videos of, like, technique. Like, I remember sitting in the mirror. I bought a mirror, put it in my room, and was like, okay, C, not a U. Okay, let me see. I remember putting tape in my room, taking one-step drops, don't step in the bucket. And I would do that day and day and day. Just, like, every single day I did it, and all night. And again, it was an obsession watching videos over and over and over.
How old are you at this point?
At this point, I had just graduated high school, so I'm
so
17.
you're out of high school now.
Yeah.
So your only high school career has been just those tight end couple of practices.
That's it.
Okay.
My freshman year of high school.
All right, so you got some balls on you. You think you're going to go to college and play college and play football?
Hey, listen, when I have a dream, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
And then on YouTube, where there's certain guys, like were there specific guys that you were like, this guy really knows what he's talking about? Any retired quarterbacks, any quarterback coaches that were doing the videos, or?
Yeah. So again, I would say this. I don't remember specific people's like YouTube channels.
Right.
I just remember the videos that they would show, but mostly it was like the highlights I was watching, like the Drew Brees, the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's, Peyton Manning, right? All that era, I loved watching them. The way they checked ball, line of scrimmage. I loved how much in command they were.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to pursue this, and I want to do it so bad that I'm going to find a way. So from there, again, got on YouTube, and then got a quarterback coach, Emmitt Smith. I don't know if you guys remember that name.
Yep.
1999 draft. Third pick in the draft. So I did that, and he groomed me for like 3 months for free. He said, hey, you know what? I like this guy. He told me, he's like, I like you. I'm going to train you. I'm like, okay, great. Thank you. So trained with him, walked on.
So he must have saw talent in you. Yeah.
So like I always knew I can throw a nice spiral.
Right.
But that's it. I knew nothing about coverages, fronts, like concepts, nothing like
Gotcha.
that. I just knew I had a nice spiral and I could throw the ball far. That's it. So he groomed me, was able to get me in contact with the coach at Southwestern Community College. So I get there, and funny story, we still talk about it to this day. So I walk in his office, and he tells me, can I help you? And I go, hey, coach, I want to be your next quarterback. And he goes, where'd you play at? Let me see your tape. I said, well, actually, I didn't play high school football.
Yeah. But I'm a hell of a bowler.
So then he kind of looks at me like, okay, like what's going on?
Right.
I'm like, all right, when are your tryouts? Like, I want to come to your tryout, because in junior college, like anybody can really come to the tryouts. So I get there, and there's 9 quarterbacks, right? And I'm 9 by default just because I'm the only one that didn't play.
Right.
So I'm there, and I remember being the first one there, last one to leave, like getting 0 reps. And I remember there was points where I'm like, okay, like
just wasting time.
Yeah, I'm just wasting time here. So then little by little, like people got hurt, people switched positions, people transferred, and now there's 4 of us. And I'm like, okay, now I can start getting some reps. So start getting some reps. Training camp comes around in the fall, and I crush it. Things start clicking for me. Like, okay, I'm starting to understand what's going on here. And I win the backup spot.
Really?
So I won the backup spot.
I can't imagine you out there and all of a sudden I hear, bowler, get your shoulder pads on.
No, it was nuts. So finally, week 3 of the season, starter goes down. And we're down 2 touchdowns.
What'd you do? Did you poison him?
No, he got hurt. On the shoulder. So I go in the game. We're down 2 touchdowns and bring us back. And 17 unanswered, win the game.
Shut up.
And then the next game, we're playing
Were you confident that you could do that when you went in, or were you like, all right, let's see what we learned on YouTube?
See, no, so at that point, I was already fully confident. Right?
Just like, from practicing with the team and doing all that stuff,
For sure. And I had no nerves. Like, it was crazy, because to me, nerves come from lack of preparation.
Okay.
That's why people get nervous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? When you're fully prepared and you know what's going on, there's no reason to be nervous.
Okay, I got you.
So I was prepared. I'm like, I'm about to dominate. Now, it could have been a little bit of delusion, right? Like, I don't care. I'm just going to go and do it. But it helped me. I went in there and crushed it.
Yeah, they say like kickers, when they have to kick a 60-yard field goal, if they don't make it, they don't make it, because nobody's expecting them to make it.
Correct.
So the pressure's off. So you're a bowler trying to play quarterback. If you ended up getting killed, you go, what do I know? I'm a bowler.
He's a bowler. Right?
I never played football before. I don't know.
So
you put me in.
You end up doing great. And what happens next game? They start you?
Yeah, so they start me the next game, and we're playing against an undefeated team. And it was a big game, big rivalry game. And we were the underdogs, and we absolutely dominate them. Like 35-14 or something like that. 300 yards passing, 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
I mean, it was nuts. Like, talk about like being on cloud 9 after that game.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. All my family's at the game. Like, it was
What
great.
was it like to talk to girls for the first time?
Oh, not yet. I still hadn't. And so anyway, that happened. And the next game, I'm like, okay, this is my team now. Like, everyone's rallying around me. Like, this is great. The next game, the second possession, I drop back to pass. Lineman falls on me. I break my leg.
Oh.
So just talk about like
crushed.
cloud 9 to rock bottom,
Right.
right? I mean, it just crushed me. And then I start contemplating, right, that whole time I'm rehabbing, like, okay, is football really for me? Should I go back to bowling? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So finally, I'm like, you know what? Screw this. No, I still want to pursue this dream. So I go back the next year. By that time, I had some complications, so I couldn't really practice with the team until fall camp. By that time, it was already late. They already had their guy. You know, people were calling me the one-hit wonder guy, whatever.
Right.
So I go in there, and then deja vu all over again.
Quarterback
week
gets hurt.
3 of the season.
Wow.
Same exact week, same exact score. We were down 14 points, 17 unanswered, win the game.
Wow.
And after that, I never looked back. So I win, we win the conference championship. We win out. We only lose 1 game that year. And I win All-American. 18 touchdowns, 3 picks. I had a great season.
Yeah.
So after that, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to get a scholarship. Right?
Yeah,
This is it. I have the size. I'm 6'3", 220. I fit the mold. This is it. I played so well. So then after that, I'm waiting for that Division I offer. As a kid, you're thinking, I'm going to go Division I. I'm not going to play Division II. So I'm waiting. Nothing comes around. So then finally, I get a call from UC Davis. And UC Davis, now keep in mind, Aaron Rodgers is one of the guys I would watch. He's one of my idols. I love the way he plays the game. And that same coach that was at UC Davis coached Aaron Rodgers at Cal. So I'm thinking, oh, this is awesome. I'm about to be coached by the same coach that coached my idol. This is great. So I get there. They take me on a visit. My wife and I go up there. Boom, this is great. Phenomenal. So come down. They offer me a scholarship. I'm excited. This is it. I'm living a Division I dream. I'm going to UC Davis, staying in California. He calls me 2 weeks later. Hey, bud, your math's not transferable for a UC school, only a California state school. So we can't offer you a scholarship. Talk about getting
seriously
crushed.
getting kicked in the nuts. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. My nuts are done at this point. Golly. So then I'm like,
they can't let you just take some classes?
No, it was too late by that point. I couldn't. So after that, I'm like, all right, well, this is it. Well, now my next path is all right, well, I can't go Division I. It's too late. So now D2. So I start researching, which Division II quarterbacks have been in the NFL. So I found a guy named Dustin Vaughn, who I don't know if you guys know that, played for the Cowboys. He was on practice squad with them.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, where did he go to school? West Texas A&M. Okay. Well, who coached him? Coach Carthel. Where's he at now? Texas A&M Commerce. All right, well, if that guy did it, I can do it. So let me email them. So I
you got
email.
some nuts on you, man.
So then I email them, and I'm like, hey, my name is Luis Perez. Give them my whole bio. They reach back out to me a few weeks later. They fly out to California, watch me throw, offer me on the spot.
Really?
So,
were they desperate for a quarterback at that point? Did something happen, or they just saw talent in you?
No, they weren't desperate at the time because they already had a guy who was coming back. So they just said, hey, you know what? We like your story. We like you. Just come on.
Okay.
So they brought me in, and I got there so late, so I redshirted.
You did have a Division I scholarship offer. You did have one. So if you can't make it to a Division II school, you're somebody that they're at least interested in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So that happened. And I redshirted that year, which redshirt means you don't play, but you practice.
Right.
And you just develop, which that was a huge year for me because, again, I only had 2 years of experience.
Yeah.
Really, a year and a half.
So you got this one to put under your belt.
Great. So if I do that, end up winning a starting job. When I start my junior year, most wins in school history, 11 wins, most passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Now, we end up going second round of the playoffs. We don't win a championship, so I'm devastated, right? Because my goals and aspirations are championship, win it all. So then I end up driving to the national championship game to go see what it's like to play in the game. So I'm there, and I'm sitting in the stands. It was negative 10 degrees, snowing, and I'm sitting in the stands, and I just want to feel the atmosphere. I want to see what it's like because I'm going to be here next year. That was my goal. I'm going to be here next year. So
I can't decide if you have a mental problem or if you're just so determined. If you're delusional,
a little bit of both, probably.
Yeah, but it works for you.
Yeah, so it's just an obsession. I just want to be great at whatever I do. And so after that, I remember going back and taking videos of everything and soaking everything in. Okay, I'm gonna be here next year. And I remember going and showing all the guys on the team a PowerPoint of everything going on of what I saw, what to expect, the lights, just so there's no oh my gosh event.
Right.
You know what I mean? So okay, I get there and I report back the next year. And again, I'm starting quarterback. We go 14-1 that year.
Okay.
I win the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is the best player in Division II, and we win the national championship.
Wow.
So we do that my senior year.
Yeah.
So after that, I'm thinking, okay, I got to get a shot in the NFL, right? I just did everything I could at my division.
Right.
Best player and championship. I couldn't have done anything else. So then, there's some buzz around my name around the draft. Hey, you might get drafted day 3, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Who knows? Yeah. Chris Mortensen, Mel Kiper, all these guys are tweeting about me. And I'm like, okay, this is it.
You got the attention.
I'm getting the attention.
People, yeah.
So finally, draft comes around, day 3 comes around, the day I'm expecting to get drafted, and nothing happens, right? My phone's dead. Not a single call.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm thinking, I don't know what to do next. Do I continue to pursue? Do I go to bowling? I don't know how this works.
In the back of your mind, you always had bowling to fall back on.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So after that, I call my agent. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, he's like, hey, I'm not getting any traction. Like, I don't know what to do. So then 2 weeks go by, and I hear nothing. So at this point, I'm already like, okay, I'm done with the
over.
NFL.
Yeah.
The Rams call my agent and tell him, hey, is Luis still available? I'm like, yeah.
No, sorry, he's delivering for Domino's now. Yeah.
So then, they're like, hey, we're having a local tryout. He's like, where does he live? Gave him my address. Okay, he fits the mile radius where you can come to a local tryout.
Right.
So I'm like, great. This was like the day before. So then I drive up, and I remember getting there, and I'm like starstruck. Like, I can't even believe this is actually happening.
This is like Rudy.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So I'm there, and Sean McVay, Zach Taylor, who's now the head coach of the Bengals, was my quarterback coach. Okay. They're all right there, and they're like, all right, well, let me see what you can do. So I start throwing the ball, and I have the best workout I have had in my life. I am so locked in, like, missed probably 2 or 3 passes out of, like, probably 60 I threw.
Okay.
And
great.
I remember thinking, like, I don't know if this is enough, whatever. So I remember sitting, and everybody's waiting around. There's like 40 of us, and we're all waiting around to see who the GM brings in to get signed. So just waiting, and guys are getting called. I'm not getting called. Finally, they call me. Hey, come in. And so he's like, hey, we had no intentions of signing you today. We just needed an extra arm to throw some of these guys. But you did so well that we're going to sign you.
I don't know which part I like better, the part that they used you for practice or the part that you got the job.
Both.
That's great.
Yes, so it's unbelievable. So I'm there, and I'm doing really well. Like, I'm like crushing it in camp.
Now, how many quarterbacks do they have in camp?
They have 4 at the time.
4, okay.
Yeah, so it was me, Jared Goff, Sean Mannion, and Brandon Allen.
Okay.
So it's all 4 of us in camp. And we're battling it out. Right now, again, I'm a rookie, so I'm not, I'm kind of staying in my lane, learning still. You go from a play call, doubles 90 in high school, to wide short to south right clamp, pass 18 wand to wide bend lick, X strike, Z bench, candid with 3J, FCLZ drive, on ready break. You have to learn all these different plays, right? So that was a big transition for me.
Right up on the
big transition for me. And so I did that. So finally, I remember I'm watching film, and we're playing the Raiders in preseason. And the coach tells me, hey, it's like 4 a.m, and I'm in there, and he tells me, hey, we're actually not going to play you. You've done really well in practice. We don't want anybody to botch you from practice squad. Our plan is to put you on practice squad.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know how to feel. Like, this is great, but I want to play, but I want to be on the team. So, like,
in the NFL, do I play in the NFL standards? This is great.
Correct.
But playing in the NFL standards, this sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
We're in Tampa, and I always wonder how those backups behind Brady felt. Like, these guys that were played all the time, then Brady comes in, and they're like, oh, Jesus, no, I'm sitting in the back seat again.
Correct.
So you're a little bit crushed at the time.
Yeah, so it's like bittersweet, right? Like, I'm on the team, but I'm not getting to play, so it's all good. So finally, weeks go by, they put me on practice squad.
Right.
So I'm on practice squad. I'm there a few weeks, and they had a bunch of injuries, like a lot of injuries happen. And they end up bringing me in, telling me, hey, you know what? We can't keep 4. We can only keep 3 quarterbacks, so we're going to have to let you go. So that was unfortunate. You know, they weren't in the developmental stage right now. They were in a stage where, like, they have to win now. They had to keep Marcus Peters, Cooper Kupp. They were paying a bunch of guys who they were trying to make a Super Bowl run. They didn't have time to develop anybody.
So this wasn't through any fault of yours, just that's how football goes.
That's just how it was, That's the nature of the business. So that happened, get released, and I'm just devastated, don't know what to do next. So then the Alliance of American Football comes around.
Right.
The AAF, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that was a league that just popped up out of nowhere.
Right.
And I play in that league.
For who?
For the Birmingham Iron.
Birmingham. Okay. Birmingham's been trying to get it. They had an XFL team. They're trying to get. They're trying to get something. This
lingerie team, I think.
So, play for them and do really well. We clinch playoffs. Everything's great, and the guy who was funding the league pulled out all his money.
Right.
So now, like, the league just shut down. Like 7 games in, just done. We're like, what do you mean? Like, that's it? We're done playing? Like, yeah, we're done. So, like, we missed out on a couple paychecks. Like, it was a disaster. We go back to our hotel. Everybody's stuff laying around. Like, it was a disaster. Anyway, so after that, I get signed by the Eagles. So I'm with the Eagles 2019. 2019, after that, I get released, go to Detroit. After Detroit, I get released, I go to the XFL in 2020, who play with the New York Guardians.
Question for you, if you don't mind. This is a little bit invasive, but when you get signed to the Eagles, what kind of money are you signed for?
So when you're an undrafted guy, they usually don't give you signing bonus. So you get the minimum contract, but you only make that money once you make the actual 53-man roster or practice squad.
So, okay, so when you signed to the Eagles, what did you sign to? Were you on the practice squad? Or
No. So practice squad is only during the season. So this was training camp.
Gotcha.
So
they sign you to have you in camp and take a look at you. Okay.
Correct.
So and what do you get paid for that at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
but
it's not
right.
much.
Okay.
So that happened. So then after that, 2020, XFL. So I'm there, and we're 2-3 games in, and I'm the highest rated passer in the league. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, this is my jump to get back to the NFL. And right as that happened, COVID.
Oh man.
So COVID happened.
You're like the most determined, worst luck guy I've ever met in my life.
So COVID happened.
Yeah.
So now COVID, I don't know if you guys remember, but like they're not really picking guys up off the streets because of COVID. Like they're only picking guys up that are
out of their group
or practice squad that are kind of in a bubble. So I'm out of the NFL in 2020. Then a random league pops up in 2021, the spring league. So I'm like, okay, let me play in that league. I got to play some ball. So I play in that league. And that league was a developmental league. So everybody got to play.
Right.
So I would play the first half of every game, and then there was another quarterback that came in and played the second half. So we go to the championship, and we're winning 17-6 at halftime. And coach takes me out. Even in the championship game, I'm still pissed to this day.
Right.
And we lose. So we lose the game, and we don't get a ring, whatever. I'm devastated. So after that, the USFL comes around. Now, keep this in mind. The USFL, that was a brand new league.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, I just dominated in the spring league. I dominated in the XFL.
Yeah.
I surely am going to get drafted in the USFL, right? Like, I got to get something. So the draft comes around. I remember sitting on the couch, and I'm thinking I'm going to get drafted, and I get nothing. So I remember thinking there was a split second where I was like, all right, I'm done with ball. But then there was another me like, no, heck no, I'm not done. So after that, I end up, I was so determined that I knew somebody was going to call me at some point, right? I just knew it because it's just how it works. Injuries happen. And just the position I'm in, I knew I was on people's short list. Like, I was probably the next man up for every team. So I end up getting a hold of every single team's playbook, all 8 teams. I got their playbook, and I would study their playbook just in case I would get a call.
God.
So
I haven't put this much effort into raising my kids.
So I finally get a hold of all of them, and I'm just studying them, right? Just waiting for that chance. Sure enough, right? 5 days before the first game, the Generals call me, the New Jersey Generals, call me. They're like, hey, our quarterback just broke his toe. Can you come in? I'm like, yeah, I can come in. So
and I know your playbook.
And I know your playbook. So I came in, and I got the starting job off of 5 days.
Wow.
So got the starting job. We go 9-1 that year. We started our own one, but then we went 9 straight games, go to the playoffs, highest rated passer, most touchdowns, least interceptions. I mean, I killed it. So I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to get a shot. Sure enough, the Rams call me back.
Wow.
So the Rams call me back. They're like, hey, we love what you did. We've been watching you this whole time after you left us. Like, we're gonna give you a shot. So I come in, I'm doing really well, and I'm in camp, I'm crushing it. And then
I'm waiting for you to be like, then the earthquake swallowed up the practice field.
Well, close enough. I hurt my calf in practice. Some freak injury, never happened, right? I'm just running and it just pulls. Like, what is this? So now, being a bottom of the roster guy, like, you can't just go to the training room and say, hey, I'm hurt. Can you work on me? Right. You can't do that because they're going to say, oh, you're hurt? See you later, buddy. So I'm like rehabbing. I'm driving to San Diego, see my doctor in San Diego on the off day, trying to figure out and trying to keep it under wraps so nobody knows. But it was too much.
Sure.
Like, I couldn't do it. And after painkiller after painkiller, wasn't enough, and ended up getting released. Wasn't playing well. Couldn't throw the ball as good as I wanted. Got released. After that, went to the XFL in 2023. This is where it gets interesting.
Right. Really?
So,
you don't think it's been interesting?
No, more interesting. So 2023 comes around, and I get assigned to the Las Vegas Vipers.
Okay.
So I get there. Everything's great. They're like, hey, you're our number 1 quarterback. Phenomenal, right? So I get there, and Rod Woodson was my head coach.
Right.
And I'm there. We're in training camp. I'm doing well. I'm thinking, all right, we're going to have a good team. They bring in another quarterback, pay him a bunch of money, and now they end up not playing me. So I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, I played the first game, and then we ended up losing, but I had a good game. I had 3 touchdown passes. And then I'm saying, you know what? We're going to go with this other guy.
Yeah.
So now I'm on the bench and thinking, okay, well, how am I going to get to the NFL being on the bench? That's not going to happen.
Right.
So then I asked Coach Woodson, like, hey, listen, you're a player's coach. You've played. You're a player. Like,
what's the deal?
Help me out. You guys are going to go with this guy. Don't just leave me on the bench. There's a lot of teams in the league that need quarterbacks. So he trades me. So he trades me to the Arlington Renegades.
Right.
Who they weren't having the best season. They had a good defense, but, they were okay. They had like a 5-5, or they had a 500 record. And anyway, so I come in and, it just starts clicking for me. We start winning games, make the playoffs, win the first playoff game, and we go to the championship game. And we're in there and we're crushing it. We're playing against a really good team, and we win the championship, and I get MVP of the championship game.
Good for you.
So I'm thinking, all right, this is it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my shot, right? Like,
Here we go.
like this is the one.
Right.
Okay, you can't go back. Now, earlier in the game, okay, I had something happen to my foot. Now I didn't think anything of it because again, I finished with the game. I was able to fight through it. I'm like, it's probably just an ache. So after my foot's like swollen and like, all right, you gotta get an X-ray in the morning. So I get an X-ray. Sure enough, broken foot. So I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. My agent's calling me, hey, you got teams that want to work you out soon and this and that.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I just broke my foot. Like, I can't go. I'm out 3-4 months. So I'm devastated. Like, talk about, again, championship MVP to a broken foot.
Every time it gets teed up for you, something happens.
100%.
Yeah.
So then I go back to the UFL the next year. I rehab, go back to the UFL. And this last year, was the highest rated passer, most touchdown passes, most passing yards, most completions, best completion percentage, lead every category, and get signed by the Chargers. Now, the Chargers for me,
right,
is like, I'm from San Diego.
Yeah.
That's like a dream, right?
I gotta tell you, even if you got signed to the Chargers, never played, that's still a dream come true.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, wearing the bolt, like, wearing the jersey, like, just, that was a surreal moment.
Right.
Like, I was a diehard Chargers fan.
Yeah.
Like, diehard. Go to a bunch of games. So I got signed there. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to get into the details about what happened, but end up getting released.
Give me a little hint at least. Problem with somebody? Or
no
physical?
problem. Just I was banking on other people doing their job versus just my own.
Okay, so it wasn't all about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That happened, and so it didn't work out for me. Got released, which that was a bummer.
What
And
year is this?
This is last.
This is last year.
Yeah, this year. So after that, I decided, all right, I'm gonna keep training, staying ready. If not, I'm gonna go back to the UFL this year, and that's
I think
it.
you're setting your goals low. I think you should plan on playing on the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Yeah, why not?
You're in
Why
good
not?
shape. Why not?
Did you
Why
let
not?
him know you're here?
I should, right? I should probably crash that hotel they're at and let them know I'm here.
I have to ask you this as a parent. What do your parents do?
My dad, he's retired.
Okay.
My mom owns a ballet studio.
They must have taught you something to keep you this determined to make you chase your dreams. I mean, the truth is I try to tell people all this time. I used to drive a forklift, and now I'm, #1 radio guy in Florida, and nobody helped me. It's just one of those things. If you really want to do it, you will get it done.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
When you want something so bad, you'll find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, my dad was an athlete. My dad played professional soccer in Mexico,
So
14 years.
you got a little talent in your, but it's what you do with
For
it.
sure. Yeah, 100%.
This is an amazing story. I hope to God that this keeps on going for you.
100%.
How old are you?
I'm 30. I just turned 30.
30. So, I mean, there's a chance you go win another championship or you go
100%.
have a season. Somebody needs a quarterback. You make it to the practice squad, kill the guy who's in front of you. Just set it up to make it look like it was an act. Push him down the stairs or something.
Yeah,
and
hire
then get another shot. This could be it. Now, are you writing a book?
I'm writing a book.
This is. I'll have to tell you. This is a great story to tell. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of these books, I could care less about half these quarterbacks' lives who won a Super Bowl. Their lives are boring as hell. This is an amazing story. This is Luis Perez. Where can people find out more about you? Or what can they do?
Yeah, so the book is still in process. It'll be ready end of March.
Okay.
So right as kickoff for the UFL season. The title is going to be called The Spring King.
Okay.
So that's kind of the name that the internet gave me over the years. So I thought, it fit perfectly. And so it's going to be sold on Amazon.
I look good for you because somebody told you that you couldn't write a book, so you were like, nope. And now I'm going to write a book, and it's
100%.
probably going to be a bestseller. And then, I think this is great. I'm so glad that I accidentally overheard you, so that I can. Now, question: still bowl?
Recreationally, yes.
Do you still have it in you
Oh yeah.
to be a champion?
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, because you could bowl when you're old, right?
100%.
All right, so then there's still a future.
Oh yeah.
It's hilarious. I'm so glad I got to meet you. What an interesting story. And I hope your book is a huge seller.
Appreciate it.
I
Thank you,
can't
man.
wait to look on the goddamn New York Times bestseller list and be like, I know that dude.
I can't wait for him to get signed by an NFL team and have them do one of the Pro Bowl things and they do bowling.
Yeah,
oh man,
Oh yeah.
and they're gonna be like, what?
It's over.
Now that's your wife?
Yep.
What did you get her at bowling or
No,
at
you wanna
football?
know?
No, she's a football wife. That's not a bowling
No,
wife.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Funny story. So we met in middle school.
Oh.
Okay. And let me tell you how we met. First day of gym class. Okay. We go to class and teacher's like, hey, line up from youngest to oldest. So we're like, hey, when's your birthday? When's your birthday? Everyone's asking around, right? To
Right.
line up. So I tell her, I said, hey, when's your birthday? She says, August 26th. I said, that's my birthday.
Oh. There you go.
So we have the same birthday.
Yeah.
So that's how we met.
Yeah. And that's it. You've been together friends and
since.
all that. Hilarious. Great story. Well, I got to tell you, man, I'm looking forward to the second half of your life to see what happens to you, man. You may be the first guy in Mars. Luis Perez. That's an awesome story. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got Sporkle. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Welcome back. We are live in New Orleans for Radio Row for Super Bowl 59, powered by Hard Rock Bet and Bud Light. And we have a lot of things to give away to you this morning. Carmen, please tell me.
No.
You're already. You got one job.
It's my email.
Were you pooping again?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've been sick.
We have
a lot of
Alice
stuff.
Cooper.
Yes.
We have
Carmen, there was a guy
Jason Aldean.
Yes.
who died while he was here.
Yeah.
A sports reporter. Rest in peace. I'm not making fun of him.
No, yeah.
For WFLA.
What?
And now I'm wondering if he ate the same oysters that you ate.
Oh, stop.
Or whatever you had.
Well, you did
Shrimps.
say that 2 people
15.
Yeah.
went to the
15 people went to the
though.
hospital because
Yeah.
of eating bad oysters.
Yeah.
They issued a bad oyster warning here in New Orleans. I swear to God, this is all true.
Yeah.
Right.
And you and I have been eating oysters like.
But we ate raw oysters one day and then char grilled the next day.
Right.
So at least hopefully the char grilled ones were the ones that saved us.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't-
schivazza.
yeah.
The char grilled ones went in and fought the. Should be fine.
So yes, we were back to what we're giving away. We have Alice Cooper. We have
Jason Aldean. We have
Aldean,
Reggae Rise Up.
Supercross.
Katy
Yeah.
Perry.
Katy
Katy
Perry.
Perry. All right. If you win, you
the
get
lady,
to pick from
country
those.
lady.
Yeah,
Country lady,
Lindsay
yeah.
Swanson.
No.
Hillary Spankface.
Lindsay.
Lindsey Graham.
The butt one. I
Lindsay-
just know she has a
Lindsay
big butt.
Cake. What?
Laney
Wilson.
Wilson.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike Oliver.
All right.
All right, let's give that stuff away right now. A little bit of Sporkle. Here we go. All right, Carmen is the keeper of Sporkle. Pap is your judge and scorekeeper. Carmen, what are we playing today?
Okay. Well, we're here for the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, we are?
Oh.
I thought we were here for my birthday party.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Now, what sport do they play for Super Bowl?
Oh,
Soccer.
Football.
Football. Okay, so we're going to play Can You Name the NFL teams when given their cities?
Oh,
my
come
come
on.
on. Are you kidding me?
Get ready, Joe.
We're just going to be yelling over each other.
I know, but listen, it's a themed
All right,
Sporkle. What do you
all
guys want to do?
Joe, you're screwed. You're
Yeah.
Joe's
Come
so
on, Joe.
screwed.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm giving you the cities. You're giving me the team names.
All right.
First, we're going to start with the AFC Conference.
Okay.
We're going to go through all of them, okay?
All right.
Here we go. Baltimore.
Ravens.
Galvin. Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
Geo.
Judge, he's not
Come
even
on.
paying attention.
You know.
I trust you.
You
Joe.
know. You know. You know. Thank you.
Oh, because I yelled at you and then he was nice to you. Get out of here.
You know.
I'm going
You
to
know.
break a beer bottle over your head tonight.
Next.
You lie. You lie.
You know.
I think you did great.
Oh, what a joke.
Your next one. Cincinnati.
Bengals.
Galvin.
I heard Galvin.
Cleveland.
Browns.
Geo. Indianapolis.
Colts.
That was me.
That was me.
That was me.
I heard
me.
me.
Easily me.
I mean, I really.
Our other
definitely
judge
me.
says Mike.
Oh, of course he
Yeah.
does.
Shocker.
It's his ride home.
He has never thrown out my garbage.
He would eat your garbage if you told him to.
Not true.
Oh,
Sure you'd be playing this
please.
game. I'd be dogging all of you. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
All right.
That's 1 point for me.
Mike gets the point.
Jesus.
Tennessee.
Titans.
Geo. Houston.
Oh,
Texans.
Galvin.
I said Oilers.
Yeah, you screwed me up. I
Yeah.
couldn't say anything else.
Jacksonville.
Jaguars.
Mike. New York.
Giants.
Jets. AFC.
Oh, you're right.
Mike Calta.
Son of a bitch.
New England.
Patriots.
Galvin. Buffalo.
Bills.
Mike. Miami.
Dolphins.
Galvin. Las Vegas.
Raiders.
Galvin. Denver.
Broncos.
Geo. Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Royals.
Geo. And the last AFC, San Diego.
Padres.
Chargers. Padres.
I'm just
See, it's not as easy as you thought.
Just saying it as fast as I
Apologize to Carmen.
Galvin.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh, maybe so
Shut up.
good. Maybe yell.
All right, Michael.
Whoa.
can. Ease off.
Sorry, Michael has.
Yeah,
Michael has 4 points. Gio has 5 points. Galvin is your leader right now by 2. He's winning with 7.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
All right. So we're doing NFL teams by cities. Now we're doing the NFC. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis,
Cardinals.
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Mike,
Yeah, but that's old.
Yeah.
it's old. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not the.
It's Arizona.
We go,
Yeah.
we go by the paper.
Oh, I mean, all right.
This is what the paper.
They left St. Louis like 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Point.
But
I think Galvin gets the point because that's what they are.
yeah,
It's the St. Louis Cardinals.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I said.
It's the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona
said
was
St.
my.
Louis.
Yeah.
St.
Oh,
Louis
yeah.
doesn't have a team.
Yeah, well, they're not the Cardinals, so why would you get the point?
Why would you get the point?
Because they're the
that
Rams,
was
and
the
that's
right
what was on the
point.
sheet.
She
St.
said,
Louis doesn't have a team.
but this is old because
It's
it used to be
old.
St. Louis Rams before they moved to L.A.
They didn't say it was current.
Yeah.
Because the next one is Arizona Cardinals, but we're
Right.
taking that off the point. I'm just taking that one off, so you guys know. Just
I don't even know.
Point
This-
Mike.
I
this-
don't even know what's going on.
This is probably 2 or 3 years old when the Rams were still in St. Louis.
Well, all right.
That
so then
is
what
not
is
my
going
fault.
on?
I
Right.
just answered.
Yeah.
Mike gets a point. We're moving on. Your next one, Seattle.
Seahawks.
Mike. San Francisco.
49ers.
Gio. Dallas.
Cowboys.
Galvin. Philadelphia.
Eagles.
Gio. Dallas.
Cowboys.
Oh, sorry.
Nope.
I went backwards on that one. My bad. No points.
Oh, you're screwing up my rhythm.
you're screwing me up. Washington.
Redskins.
Commanders.
Commanders.
There's
no way. Go by the whole
I
list.
got it.
Man.
I got it.
All right.
Commanders.
Does it say Commanders?
Yes, it
that
does.
list is cursed.
Eat a commander.
It sounds delicious.
New York.
Giants.
Mike. Tampa Bay.
Buccaneers.
Gio.
Oh, man.
What's up?
Atlanta.
Falcons.
Mike. New Orleans.
Saints.
Gio. Carolina.
Panthers.
Galvin gets the point.
You little kiss ass, Mike.
Yeah.
You would not use garbage.
Olivero's kiss ass. Does it make him up for Galvin?
And Pep.
Oh.
We're on the last three.
All right. All right.
Michael has 8 points on the board. Gio with 9, and Galvin is your leader by 1. He's winning with 10.
All right.
St. Louis.
There
Damn you, St. Louis.
you go. Meet me in St. Louis.
NFL teams by cities. Last three. Here we go. Detroit.
Lions.
Whoa.
Galvin. Gio. Chicago.
Bears.
Galvin. And your last one. Minnesota.
Vikings.
Mike.
Vikings.
Vikings.
Final
Score, Joe?
Your final score, Michael had 9 points on the board, Gio 10, and Galvin is your triumphant champion today. He won with 11.
You know what it's like? That everybody look at Galvin when he
I know.
Kachaya in front of the whole.
I don't care.
Kachaya in front of the whole industry.
You know what? Kachaya, we stole your chairs.
By the way, she's still angry.
Why?
Well, no, she actually at one point she came over and got Tom and dragged him over to the table over there to prove that we had taken the chairs.
No. Tom went over there.
Oh, he did?
Tom's a
Oh.
turncoat.
Yeah, no.
Tom's a goddamn
Tom
turncoat.
went over there to be like, it wasn't us. Look around. Other people, those
Why
people
is
over
he
there
getting involved?
have
Because
not-
he has to get involved and
Yeah.
he has to sell it more and this and
Yeah.
that.
But no, Tom went over there. I watched him walk over there to try and like.
By the way,
So-
for the people that
yeah.
don't know,
Yeah. Oh.
there's a lady over here that's a real Munson.
Yeah,
she
she.
thinks that we took her chairs and she's just annoying. And, you know, she's not nice about it either.
I just looked like probably I don't know an hour later, and Tom was over there with his arm around. She has her arm around him, and they were
Yeah.
talking.
Tom?
Yes,
Yeah.
and they were
Hilarious.
talking to the other people about the chairs and where they had come from. And I'm like,
Gross.
and Carmen's like, why is he bringing the chair thing up again?
Just leave it alone.
She was
Yeah.
yapping at us, and I was shaking my head. And she
Yeah.
goes, keep shaking her head. And I go, oh, I will.
Well, because you're belligerent. That's
Yeah.
what she said.
Belligerent. She
Yeah.
think she knows what that word
No,
means.
definitely
She
not.
goes, don't
Galvin
be
said, you want to see
belligerent.
belligerent? I'll show you belligerent.
That's right.
Hilarious. All right, Gio, or who won? Galvin?
I
Pick a
did.
line.
I'm going to go with line 5.
Line 5. Johnny B, please grab that line here during the break. We'll hook line 5 up with the prize. Is that 2 in a row for Galvin?
That is 1 in a row for Galvin.
1 in a row.
Yeah.
Did I win the other
You
one?
won.
You won.
Oh.
Yep.
I got a bad memory. So, all right. I'll tell you what. We got a little bit of a change in operations. Normally we do news, but we got a lot of the guests lined up to be on this show. And from your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're scheduled to talk to Tristan Wirfs. We've got Warren Sapp coming by. We've got John Randle. We've got Bussin with the boys. We've got a lot of things lined up on the program, so I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Tristan Wirfs of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers next at the Mike Calta Show, live on 102.5 The Bone, live from New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. We are live in New Orleans at Radio Row, courtesy of our friends at Bud Light and powered by Hard Rock Bet. And sitting down now with us, we got to go all the way to goddamn New Orleans to talk to Tampa Bay's own Tristan Wirfs. How are you, brother?
I'm great. How are you guys?
You should be great. You should be the happiest kid in the whole world.
Why is that?
I come out of college, my first year, Super Bowl, Tom Brady's on my team.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? What were you thinking was the best thing that would happen to you on draft day? Were you like, what was your plan on draft day as you were sitting there waiting for the phone call?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if anyone's ever asked me that before.
Yeah.
What was my plan?
Like, did you think, like, this is how I hope it goes? I want to go to the Lions. I want to go where? Maybe not the Lions. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what did you think in your head would be your dream?
Oh my goodness.
You could
This
say,
might
I
be-
know it is.
This might be cliche. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Probably to go number 4. I think there was 4 tackles that year, and everyone's like, oh, like a tackle's going at 4. So
Right.
I think that was off the rip was the dream. I would say, like how I thought it was going to go.
And were you trying to figure out who would have the 4th pick and where you would go?
Well, we found out the Giants did, and then I wouldn't have been surprised if any 4 of us went to them. Like everyone knew they were taking a tackle. So I was like, they went Andrew Thomas. I was like, okay, and then I was like, got to be the Jet. I think the Jets were at 10, Browns were at 11.
Ooh.
I had a meeting. I was the only meeting the Jets had, I think, in person with no lineman before COVID pulled everybody off the road. So I was like, they got it. I was like, it's gonna be them. Didn't
Right.
take me. I was like, I know. I think the Browns like me.
Yeah.
Didn't take me. I was like, I don't know where I'm going
Yeah.
because I had a meeting. I pooped the bed
Right.
in the combine meeting with the Bucs.
Why? Like, what do they say to you that makes you think that you?
I just felt like they hated me. It's like just talking to them. I was like, they're doing, I think, kind of like a good cop, bad cop thing.
Right.
And I was like, these guys don't like me. And then,
Well, let me ask you. Like, I always wonder, like, we're going to interview a head coach. We already know what they could do. You already know
Yeah.
what you're potential. So what are you going to say? So tell me, what are your people skills? You know, like,
Yeah.
it's not like you're going for a regular job
no,
interview.
it's strange, but like those are the kind of questions they ask you. It's just they try and
Assess your brain.
your reaction. Like
Yeah.
it's so much stuff. That I met with a sports psychologist there. Like, have you filled out this test?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's all sorts of stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like, bad meeting in there.
Right.
They were my first pre-draft meeting on Zoom. Never used Zoom before. I was like 2 minutes late. I was like, the Bucs hate me.
Right.
Can
And
somebody
then it was
let
813
me in?
number. Yeah, I was like, there's an 813 number calling me. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
It was BA. He's like, you ready to protect Tom Brady, baby?
Oh,
And I was like, not right now. I was like, I'll get ready. I was like, I'll get ready fast.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, when you found out that was happening, you were coming in and Brady was playing, and you're like, this is the best, all the best things that could come together.
I think that was like best case scenario.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
Going somewhere, and he told me, he's like, don't get beat fast and don't get beat inside. He's like, we'll be okay. I was like, Roger that.
Okay, yeah.
Because there were some days I had JPP and Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett coming off of league-leading sacks.
Right.
They were just torching me in
Yeah.
training camp, and I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
You let a guy missing fingers torch you in camp?
Yeah, dude. JPP he'd drive up in his Rolls Royce late. He's like, you just show up for practice, beat the brakes off me, and then head out. I'm like, this
Ooh,
guy.
I got a good question for you.
Yeah.
What were you driving to practice at that time?
My rookie year, I was driving a Ford F-150 King Ranch.
What are you driving now, $140 million later?
Ford F-250 King Ranch.
Shut your mouth.
It went
Are you
up 100.
serious?
Yeah.
I got
I'm
yeah.
sure you got a couple others.
I got one. I got a Mercedes. I got a Mercedes when I signed my deal, but the King Ranch is the best truck. Ford, hit me up.
Yeah.
Best King Ranch, best truck out there. That was my dream truck, and I got it my rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else when you were a kid was your dream that you're like one day and now you have it? Like, did you do anything yet that you're like, this is the, or what dumb stuff did you buy that you're like, this is only,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's always, Instagram ads, they get me. I'm like, I was like, that looks sweet. You know, like, I could order that.
You fall for that too?
Yes, everyone falls for that.
I bought my wife a sweatshirt for Christmas that still hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
I bought it in October.
They said it was a 3X. It came. It was like a large. I was like, this isn't. I said, this sucks. Coolest thing, I think, probably buy my mom a new house. She got
That's
10 acres
awesome.
up in Iowa. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, that was probably the coolest thing.
That is great. It's got to
Yeah.
be such a great feeling.
Yeah, 100%.
You know that they stuck by you through all the taking you to, because I have kids now.
Yeah.
And I cursed them every goddamn volleyball game I have to go to and softball
Yep,
game. And
yep.
now one day, they buy me a house.
It'll come back. It'll come back
I'll
around.
be very happy for
Yeah.
that. We're talking with Tristan Wirfs, who is neighbors with my best friend Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome. He lives He lives probably 100 yards from me. Yeah.
Right. It's not so bad, Pete, because he lives kind of by himself, him and his son, and then every once in a while there's like a Lamborghini in his driveway.
I was going to say,
Dad,
I guarantee Pete's trying to get you out of that Ford and into something else.
Pete's awesome. I was like, is that a Lambo down there? Is that an RSQ8? He's got all this.
Let me tell you about that son of a bitch. When we used to live together, when we were both poor, I mean, he was selling roses in Ybor City and doing all, and now he's driving Lamborghinis.
He's
man.
grinding.
He grinded his way right out there. So now, obviously, coming off another great year, I mean, you got to love playing with. After Brady, you don't know what's going to happen, and then you get Baker Mayfield, and he ends up being we're such fans.
He's a dog.
He's great, man.
Yeah.
He's so much fun to watch from a fan's point of view, and as your quarterback, you got to love him.
Yeah, I mean, I love Baker to death. I feel like everyone knows that. He's a special person, special player. I mean, now, we got kids. Our kids are 6 days apart, so it's like it's crazy. We're getting to go through all these life changes and milestones, everything together.
What did you have, a boy or a girl?
I had a baby boy. Yep.
Oh, you lucked out.
Yeah.
You lucked out. I mean, I have a girl. I have a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
But for your first one, you want it to be a boy.
Yeah.
He is, because as soon as you have a girl, you get completely whipped.
Yep.
And then as they get older, it gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah. My daughter can do it. I used to love my son so much that when my wife said we should have another kid, I said I can't. I won't love that baby as much as I love this. And I know you feel the same way because a father and a son bond.
Yeah.
Then you have a daughter, and you're like, who
This
cares
guy
about that
stinks.
jackass? This is where it's at now. Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Like we went to the ER last night. He had an allergic reaction.
Oh.
No idea what to. It was the middle of the night. He woke up crying. His eye was swollen. So we're like, okay. But it's like seeing her reaction, and it's like it's like. I'm like, he's fine. I'm like, you're a little hard on him, but I'm like, he's fine.
Yeah,
like,
thank God we have wives, because we would just be like, oh, let him live through.
That's what I said. I said, let him go back to sleep. He'll sleep it off.
Yeah,
She's like, we can't do that. I'm like, all right, you're right. Let's go hospital. We gave him some Tylenol. He was better by the time we got there. I was like, I told you. But no, it's having a son. It's unbelievable.
It's great, and then the bond between you and Baker only gets stronger, which is more important for for teammates to have. I think it's been great. He came through as such a leader for this organization.
100%. It's been awesome to watch him kind of grow and be in a place that has his back. And everyone knows his story. He's bounced around and all this stuff, and being here, and they believe in him. He was on the 1 year deal last year, and he's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Had the chip on his shoulder, played his ass off. I don't know the stat. He has the most touchdowns in the league since last year.
Yep.
This guy's a dog.
It's great. It's been so much fun as a fan to watch. He's invigorated the team again. You know, you never know where you're going to get after you got the greatest guy ever in there.
Yeah.
And now you got not only that, but the rest of the team playing up the par. I mean, it's been such a fun time in this organization. We've gone as fans up and down, and this is great. So now each year making the South Championship, and it sucks that we couldn't pull it out in the end. But I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's been fun. Was it 3 straight division titles?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But Baker, he kind of just elevates everyone around him. He's a fighter. He goes out there, he's scrappy, he competes, and I think that makes everyone else do the same. And there was a clip from the second Saints game, the home Saints game, when he kind of started that little tiff, and just walked away from it.
Yeah.
Oh my!
He's ballsy.
Oh my gosh, that was cool. I was in there. I was like, this guy has. I told him afterwards. I said, you knew you were doing it. I was like, yeah, that's sweet.
How much of an impact in reality is it that Liam Cohen has gone? Not that he wasn't great for the team, but he's an offensive coordinator. You got a guy within the organization taking over that role. How much is that going to change things?
I don't think it's going to change much, to be honest. Grizz was in our system, knows it like the back of his hand. I've said it a bunch of times. He's a wizard, so it's Baker's confident in it, so I'm confident in it. We were all together when it was all happening. Like I was seeing it break on Twitter, like, oh, Liam's staying. Oh, Liam's
were you
in
under
Jackson.
the understanding, like we all were, that it was locked in, that he had said no, and then all of a sudden we were like, nobody could find him?
That's what Twitter. That's what it looked like. I was like, okay, yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
And they're like, no one can find him. I was like, that's weird. And then he got the Jacksonville job. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you heard Duval.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
We gave him shit about that. We gave him shit about that.
Yeah.
I know Baker said that he left him on unread
Yeah.
for like 20 weeks. Like, oh yeah, I left him unread, didn't you?
Yeah. No, it was. That was funny. That was hilarious. Yeah, we told him too. We're like, dude, that was. Come on.
Every time the Jags lose next year, that's going to just flood the internet.
Yeah,
flood the internet.
That's gonna suck. That's gonna suck. I love Liam.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He seems like a good dude. He's just
is.
doing the right thing for his family. You know what I mean?
It's the number came out. And you're like, I won't say nothing, but
Yeah.
That's pretty tough.
Speaking of numbers, what kind of kid did you grow up as? Like, what did your parents do for a living?
My mom worked at Target for 29 years.
Target, okay.
Yeah, Super Target. She went to Super Target about halfway. It wasn't just Target.
Okay, and your dad?
Wasn't around.
So
Yeah.
she's single mother,
Yep.
probably making 40 grand at the most in somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I think she got to 42 when I was like a junior in high school.
Right, and
Yeah.
and then now you get that big fat check that
Yeah.
you earned. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, you earned that check. That must be such a great feeling.
It's
man.
crazy.
Yeah. When you go to the bank, I always want to know this. And you take out $20. Does it say that you have 139,300,000?
It does not. It does. I wish it did. It does not say that. It was crazy. Like I remember when I got drafted. Like we had just started training camp. It was like one of the first meetings, and I was like the last one to sign my contract, I think.
Right.
And like the direct deposit hit for my signing bonus,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like walking in the team meeting. I'm like, I texted my mom. I said, "Go look at the bank account." I was like, "There's a mistake," and I was like, I think I had like $3 in my bank account, and then
Right.
like that hit. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Mom," I said, "Go look. I think we're all right. We're okay." Yeah, it got real. It's
That's
crazy.
a day where I'm like, I gotta go buy another PlayStation or something. I just feel like I gotta burn a hole
We were
in
in
my
training
pocket.
camp. I wanted
you
to. I was like,
couldn't do anything.
I was like, I knew it was in there. I wanted to go to like Best Buy or something. Get a new TV. I was like, I was in my apartment with a couch and like I think I had a lawn chair. I was like, I gotta get some. Let's go get some stuff.
That is so great. I'm so happy for you,
Yeah.
man. I'm glad
Thank you
that,
very much.
and happy for the team. You know, as a fan,
Yeah.
we're happy to have you here, man.
Thank
This
you.
has been great. What's it like when you see yourself on
Surreal. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, like
It's an
just driving
unbelievable
down
feeling.
Dale Mabry and
I noticed it. I think last year I was on one of the banners. And
Yeah.
I said that's insane. Because I remember like one of my biggest goals in college was to be on the stadium, like King
Right,
Stadium. They put
right.
like somebody on each corner, and I didn't get it. Well, I didn't get it till I can't remember what year it was, but Coach Ferentz actually took a picture of it and wrote a message on it and mailed it to me. Just a picture of me up on the stadium, and I was like, that's one of the coolest things you can do. Like,
Sure.
And then seeing myself on like Dale Mabry, like it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, I've been through plenty of years where there was nobody worth putting on that building. And so for now to have been here during this time, I got to take my son to a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that
and
was
see it.
unreal.
I mean, I almost got divorced over buying those tickets, but it was absolutely
You have
worth
to. You have
it. was
to.
absolutely worth it. Now, did you get to bring, I mean, that was the COVID year. Did you get to bring a lot of family members, or did you get screwed on that?
I think I brought 6 people to the game.
You got it right.
It wasn't bad. I had 6 people at the game, and then a bunch of my family was just at my house watching it.
Right.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like we won the game, and then we like swung by the after party, and then I just
Went
went back to my
home.
house.
Yeah.
And it was like 3-4 a.m. and my family was sleeping. I was like, wake up! I was like, yeah,
I'm
we just won a Super
I'm a
Bowl.
Super Bowl champion.
I was like,
Bitches, get
let's
up.
take
Anybody
shots or
wanna clap
something.
for me when I come
We gotta
in?
get up. Like,
Yeah.
This is crazy.
What do you do when you're in New Orleans? You got the family with you, so you're probably not out partying.
No, it's just me this weekend.
You left
Pro Bowl
okay.
last
yeah,
weekend.
Yeah, Pro Bowl. So like he's 10 months old. He's done a lot of traveling the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So he's a little tuckered out. But yeah, so a little weekend for me. Hammer some stuff out and back to
You want to go do some drinking tonight? Is that what you're saying?
Not
I mean,
crazy.
I'm down.
Not crazy. I'll be around.
Are you even old
Come.
enough to drink? What's going on? you got a little baby face on
I
you.
I do a baby face. It's terrible. I'm trying. I got.
No,
I've
that's
been growing
good.
this for 26 years. So that's all I got.
I mean, when you line up against and you see some of these guys and they're ugly. I mean, look, JPP flashes them missing fingers and stuff, and then you got baby face coming
Yeah.
at you. But it's a good surprise.
Yeah.
You don't let them know what's
Yeah.
happening. I appreciate you making time for us today. We're happy to have you on, and know that we're here all year long, and we're in Tampa. If you ever need anything, we'd love to have you. I keep telling Pete, I'm like, come on, go knock on his door and tell him to come on the show. And he's like, I'll see him eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we appreciate you coming
Absolutely.
on, man. Tristan Wirfs, we'll take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. We have met before.
We have
Your hair was longer.
a little mullet action.
We got the Bussin with the boys here.
2022.
Full-on mullet.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I did not notice your dreamy eyes because I was too caught up with your mullet before. But now look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a glow up every single year. At least you try to do it.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have fell in love a little bit just there. I'm totally straight, by the way.
Right
You just
now,
totally
same
won
as-
me
same
over.
as well, but I
Won me
won't
over.
try anything
What if we
twice.
kiss on the lips? What do you think will happen?
I think my wife would divorce me.
Okay, good.
I think
Good.
that's
I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to be the one to pussy out of it. Were you at Bird's movie premiere?
We were at Bird's.
That's
movie
where it
premiere.
was.
Yes.
That's where it was. And my son, I have an 18-year-old son. I do a goddamn radio show that I've busted my balls for 30 years. He couldn't give a rat's ass less about it. He sees you guys 2 seconds at the thing. He's like, I know those guys. Those guys are on YouTube or on the internet. No. I was like, you son of a bitches.
Dude.
It's
Shout out
great,
you
isn't
doing
it?
30 years of grinding it out. That
Grinding
is
it
awesome.
out. Like a
It's done.
stand-up comic doing overnights and, open mics and all that. Finally get a good gig, and you son of a bitch and YouTube guys come and push us right out of the industry.
Guys like us don't deserve it, man. You're the guy.
No, I mean, listen, you did work your asses off, too. I mean, also, do you love coming here for things like this?
Love it, dude.
Yeah,
this
this
awesome.
is like this is the most fun. One of the most fun things to do.
It's just like you're in the trenches all week long.
Hang on, Gio. His volume sucks.
His
Let me
volume
just
sucks. Gio, can
his
we
volume
fix his
sucks,
volume?
Gio. Come on, please. For the love of
dial
God,
that
make
in.
his volume good.
Gio is tripping right now.
Gio,
He's worried
Gio's
about
the
that.
most nervous freaking producer.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was saying, we're in the trenches all week long.
Yeah. How many guys are on the show?
On our show?
Yeah.
It's Will Compton
Yep.
and Taylor Lewan.
I know.
Yeah, we
you
got
just
boys.
put
We got
every-
boys in the
we got
back. We
boys
got
in the
shout out
back.
the boys.
They
We
said
got
the
Oh,
Garrett.
they're the boys in
There
the
they are
back.
right there.
Yeah.
JP Hovey, Jack McPherson, Garrett Hargis.
Now,
and
where'd you-
Sherman Young and Mitch Carsley.
Where do you find these sports nerds? Where are they at?
Those
They were
guys-
like,
So Garrett and Jack, they're the OGs. They actually went with us. It's like basically the beginning.
right.
They're
And-
from Nashville.
from
so
Nashville,
That
Tennessee.
is so. And
Yeah.
these guys latched on like those moray eels to those big whales or those little fish that had on.
yeah,
Good for
yeah.
them, man. They were like at best we're going to be mailmen, but now if we ride this whale all the way to the
Yeah.
to the millions of
They
dollars.
make us better, man.
Yeah,
They
no,
make
that's
us
great.
better
Look,
day in
look,
and day
I'll
out.
be the first guy to tell you, without your team, you're nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, with
Oh,
nothing.
you think
All the
these two
social-
dumb idiots? There's ain't no way we
Yeah.
can put videos
All the
together.
social, all the branding, that's those guys.
You need the young guys for that.
absolutely.
How old are you guys?
35.
And
I'm
I'm
35.
33.
Don't
Dude.
say it like that's
Dude.
old.
You're right. We're around some old guys. I'm
Yeah,
35.
old, yeah.
boys.
33 years
look
young.
at me. I am 53 years old, and I hate both of you for being young. Look
Yeah,
at you.
When's the last time you got your testosterone tested?
So look, I'm on it, buddy. I'm taking the shots every Sunday night. My wife gives me 3 fingers below the arm to the soft point. She sticks it right there. Testosterone here, Ozempic here. Double shots every Sunday night.
so you just started.
Gio, can you edit this out? What a cunt. yeah. Truth, I'm down. I'm down a significant amount of weight. It's been a long time. Bert hits me up last week. I'm sleeping, taking my afternoon baby nap, and my phone rings, and it's Bert, and it's him and Jelly Roll, who I never even met before. And Jelly's like, "Hey, brother, we're running a 5K in May in Tampa." I was like, "No, we're not." And he's like, "Yeah, I could do it. You could do it." I was like, "God, I'm not gonna be friends with Jelly Roll. I gotta run laps
Yeah,
with
do
these
the
guys."
5K.
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
You
it.
have to
Yeah,
do it.
I got a super smoking hot wife who's running and riding her Peloton every day, so she's like, "Yeah, we're doing it." And I'm like,
Nice.
Joe's going to get you to run that 5K, and then he's going to get you fucked up on some tequila.
No doubt.
Hey, look, I'll
Joe
take it.
does
I'll take
that.
it if I have
Yeah.
to.
That'll happen.
What is the big plan for you guys? You have parties here, or what do you do? Like, do you put on your own party or no?
No parties for us. We've
I tell you what, we should next year.
Bussin'
I
party?
just kind of
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
You just kind of see what happens.
I feel like you
Every year
should.
we came, it was always tough to get into the NFL stuff, but we just come and immerse ourselves in the content. Like we're with Barstool, so they have events going on all
Right.
week. We try to get into media days and go to we just got done with the team media days with the Chiefs and the Eagles. So we just try to do as much as we can. Then we mostly just roam around Radio Row.
Yeah.
And I know the Barstool NFL relationship is not so great. So do they? Are they cool with you? They just hate Dave.
Essentially,
it's a
because
war.
they didn't
It's
let
a
us
war.
in here at first. It took a little bit of work. We finally got
2022
credentialed.
we got in for the first time, right? Because 21 we didn't.
Yeah, we've been doing it for this our third year.
Third
Yeah.
year, third year
It's
we've
our
been in
third year
Radio
doing
Row.
it, yeah.
And we
This
haven't
is-
really known how to do Radio Row because we always want to hit everything in the early part of the week.
Right.
But nothing really starts till like Thursday or Friday.
No, we don't
Yeah.
come till we come on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and
everybody
we
does.
broadcast live. So we're here at 3:00 in the morning, getting ready to do the morning show back in Tampa. So we're broadcasting live, and then we stay here and stockpile stuff for the next day because nobody's gonna come. Nobody of real good quality. Look at you guys just rolling in here now. I don't even know what time it is. 1:30. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what you want. You want to see guys. The good, interesting guys are coming in at their own leisure. So it's better to be here in the afternoon and just can stuff. That's the way. That's the way to do it.
I'm with you on that.
Now, where's the first time? Now, did Bert call you guys and take you on the trip?
No, that
He
was
has not done that yet.
that was KFC and Feidelberg.
Okay.
They went to Amsterdam together. Bert actually calls us and he's like, "Hey, I loved what I did with them. I'm going to do this with you as well."
Yeah.
And we end up going to the movie premiere. Had a fantastic time at the movie premiere, but we can all be honest, it's not quite Amsterdam, is it?
It's not. It's not. But
24
there
hours
is.
in Amsterdam. Happy to be a part of that and support him as much as we did. It was awesome.
So Bert and I have been friends since the day after I got married. So we've been friends for like 21 years.
What happened the day after you got married? Like, how did you?
So I had people in town that were staying for the weekend, and we were like, "What can we do to entertain these people?" And Jay Moore was at the Improv, and Bert was opening, and then we were like, "Let's go see Jay Moore, the guy from the Tom Cruise movie." And we went, and I watched Bert, and I the next day called the comedy club and said that was the funniest human being I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Turned out he was from Tampa. Didn't know. We ended up hooking up. We've been friends ever since.
What a beauty.
Right?
awesome.
Now that son of a bitch is rich, and I'm so happy to ride his success now. First couple of years, like before he had his fake teeth and all that stuff, he was my friend, and now I have to be Bert's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys see it flip flopped a little bit, but that's okay. I'm happy for his success.
what I'm
You
gathering-
do
Go ahead.
realize that Bert lifting, doing the bench press and stuff is because of these guys.
Oh, yeah. Now,
He's got the bet with you. Have you seen him do 315 easy?
We did the bench press
He
today.
knocked it out this morning.
Oh, he did. He did it today.
We can't say the results yet. He wants to announce that himself. So
Okay.
That's right.
I'm letting you know he did
yeah.
315 easy. So I'm hoping that he got that
we heard
320.
he was showing everybody the video of him doing
I'll tell you
315.
what was not a great omen for Bussin with the boys is we get to the place to do the competition. It was like New Orleans CrossFit.
Right.
In downtown. Gritty place, by
Yeah.
the way. Very New Orleans-esque. And he has a video sent to him from Arnold Schwarzenegger giving him a motivational speech on lifting.
Come on,
right then
buds.
and there, you
Come
knew
on,
we
buds.
probably
Just
fucked.
do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just lift it. I can't do a good Arnold
no,
Schwarzenegger,
nobody
but you understand.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he loves you guys. He did a show in Tampa for the hurricane, for the benefit for the people who are devastated by the hurricane, and he mentioned you on stage. I can't remember what it was, but upstage we were busting each other's balls afterwards, and he mentioned you while we were up there. Well, I'm glad that you guys have had the success that you had. What's on the horizon? What do you like? How much bigger can we get? What more can we do?
That's a tough question.
I mean, ultimately, yeah,
ceiling is conquer the world.
Yeah.
Floor is
It's
keep
up to
doing
how
this.
hard we want to work, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the world's our oyster. Going independent is going to be big. I think for us, it's like being in the sports world. I think we're going to get access to a lot more things now.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately all we want to do is continue to bring the locker room to life through our content. And that's what we love to do.
Do you guys think back to whenever you were playing, you're like, why were we getting hit? We could just be BSing and having fun and talking. I mean,
we do
obviously-
say that, but
Yeah.
then ultimately you're like, okay, we did need to
That's
be
what
players
got you
first
here,
to be
yeah.
kind of cool to
no
do
one,
it.
no one would have listened to us
Yeah.
in the first place.
Yeah.
Like two idiots on a bus. What are they doing? Guys just like, what are they, accountants?
Well, listen. As much as I feel the damage of your success, I'm not mad. I'm happy for you guys. I feel like you guys really took it by storm, man, and everybody loves you.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you,
I love
Yeah,
you too.
thank you for coming by and hanging out. We've been looking at me with your dreamy eyes. I'm glad. If you would have said, "Yeah, all right, give me a kiss," I would have been like, "Hey, bro, I was just joking. I can't really do that."
I
Yeah,
love it. It was great to meet you. And someday we will kiss. That
All
was
right,
good.
all right. I will hold that in my heart.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you. The Bussin' with the Boys, guys.
Appreciate
We'll take
you,
a
fellas.
quick break. It's a Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. And in the radio row joining us right now, as you can hear him cracking in the back, is my man Warren Sapp. How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, corn dog.
Coach Sapp is here with us in his Colorado vest.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I rep my brand. You didn't see the shoes too?
No, what do you? Oh, you got the shoes and everything, huh?
Come on, man.
That is nice.
Stop that.
That is nice.
Stop
How
that.
are you doing?
Got to fit the bill. I am wonderful.
Yeah?
Absolute wonderful.
I love Happy Sapp. Happy Sapp makes me laugh. I would say there's you and David Wells are my two friends that will forever be like if we met when we were 15 and are still 15.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All day.
Yeah.
All day long.
Like when I'm with you, all I do is laugh at stuff.
Oh, yeah, we have a good time.
Yeah. And we
have
eat.
some good food.
And we
yeah.
eat.
Yeah, fat guys, fun,
Yeah.
food, and football.
There's no
Countless.
reason not to. We're drinking Bud Lights. We're hanging out here having a good
That kid
time.
Rock, is they mad with us?
Yeah, but he's all right now. He
Oh, they done calm down?
he
Oh, yeah,
calmed down
Trump
a
and
little
all this,
bit.
everything.
I don't think
Okay,
Kid Rock's jumping out
Make
at you.
America great again. Bring back the 50s.
Now, when did you get in town?
I never tell.
Oh, really? You might have just been floating around the whole
Who
time.
told you?
I don't know. Sometimes I like to see.
I had a
Might not
crawfish
even be
boil
here.
last night. How about that?
No, because I don't see. This is what happens. You have to be in the Hall of Fame to get goddamn.
No.
crawfish
You
in
just
this
got to
town.
call me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's what
that's
he
a
was
real
looking for
boil.
all
That's
day
a real-
yesterday.
You see the wood table
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
trash can right in the middle.
Oh, and the
Just
corn
suck,
and the
pull, and
potatoes
drop.
and everything. Yeah.
Sweet potatoes.
Yep.
You got to put sweet potatoes in your broil.
I
That's the
never
new.
tried that.
That's the new one. Sweet
All right.
potatoes.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I went to a restaurant, Acme. Everybody said Acme Seafood.
Stop.
I didn't know.
Dragos.
I walked out.
Drago.
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 I don't know. I walked
I
across the
get you.
street.
I
Went to
get you.
Felix.
You went to
Felix didn't have crawfish either. I was 0 for 2 last
No,
night.
no. Acme where you get the charbroil oysters.
Yes,
fool.
I did. I got them.
Ain't no crawfish.
I don't know. I'm new to this town. I've been here-
Crawfish, you need a propane tank, a whole big bucket.
Yeah, I was trying to find someplace
Stop.
doing a crawfish
Why you
boil.
call me?
I don't know. I'm not gonna bother you and be
I'm a
like,
fat
hello.
foodie right here. What are you talking about? That's all I do is eat.
What do you got? Guys here doing crawfish boils at their house? What do you, people?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got guys everywhere.
What's wrong with you? Marshall's from here, fool. They had
that's
Marshall
true.
Falk Day.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, man? Stop. Stop. I just talked to Cam Jordan.
Yep.
Boy, stop.
Cam Jordan
Yeah.
is afraid to come on the show
What?
because he talked smack about Tampa. And he walked by. I said, Cam Jordan, don't be afraid. I said, don't be afraid. He goes,
didn't
I'll
do
get
that.
you. I'll get
He
you.
didn't do that. He
Yeah.
didn't do that, did he?
Twice he walked back and forth. No, but
Did
he's
we beat him?
He's what's that?
Did we beat him?
Yeah. He's
No. Did we beat him?
Yeah, we
this
beat
year?
him. Yeah.
Yeah, when I won the Super Bowl, I lost twice to the
Right.
Saints. I hate these damn
Yeah, I know.
But you got to get. Hey, you got when you're a divisional rival. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes you don't.
I know. It gets nasty. We also Gerald McCoy stopped by a little bit earlier.
I saw him earlier.
Yeah. He said that. He mentioned the fact that he saw you.
That's my guy.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll make sure I say hello to him.
I didn't know.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
No, ain't nothing changed.
No. And you enjoy this city? You go out.
You got the Hard Rock Stanley Cup. Look at you.
Oh, we don't mess around. You
like
want
that?
one?
Ooh, yes.
It's brand new. We can get you one. We can make a.
Yes.
We don't screw around here.
I see.
The Hard Rock.
I see. I've been to your tailgate. The Bone don't play. I know.
If you're gonna go to
Real Raw Radio,
we don't mess around.
To the bone.
To the bone.
To the bone. It's just like ugly. To the bone. Ugly and crazy. It's
You
to the
should
bone.
see the girl we had on the show a little while ago.
Stop.
Where did she go? You got
Stop.
to get a look at this. Paige Spiranac. Do you know who she is?
Who?
Here, I'll show you.
She's
I'm about to say, what a picture at? Y'all got the camera on me.
No,
Y'all
we
ain't
got
no
pictures. She's wearing something that you'd wear to bed, like a
No,
night.
I saw this chick came out with some Louis Vuitton boots on at the
yeah.
Western. Lord,
All right, I'll
mercy.
take that.
Ooh, woo.
Now, I got to be honest with you.
Lord.
I am married to a white Jewish girl from New Jersey, but I love some hot black chicks. And this chick next door over here.
With the white on?
Yeah.
Y'all white guys so bad.
What's that?
I said y'all white guys are so bad.
Listen, I'm just saying.
I guess us black guys are bad because whenever we pick a chick, you look. If I pick a white chick, you look at me like, nah, I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't touch that.
Yeah.
It's always that.
You
wouldn't touch that.
You wouldn't touch that. What?
Wouldn't touch that.
Really?
Don't touch that. No, wouldn't touch that. We got to get a new group. I got to come with y'all on the road with you and Pete.
I like that.
We got to do that.
We never fight over girls.
Never.
No. You be
Never.
like, that's yours.
You got yours, I got mine.
Yeah.
No, we don't even look alike.
No.
We just sizey. We sizey, but we don't look alike.
Do you remember one of the funniest things ever that you said to me? I mean, this has to be 25 years ago. We pull up at Hyde Park Cafe or one of those places. You're leaving, and I'm just getting there, and I'm with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and her best friend. And her best friend's really cute. And you looked at her, and you go, "Who's that?" I go, "That's my wife's best friend." And you go, "She like the black man?"
She got any black hair up, but she likes some.
I think she.
How does she feel like? How does she feel about interracial relationships? That used to be my line. How does you feel? How does your friend feel about interracial relationships? You know, racism is ended.
No, what's that? Racism is what?
Racism is ended.
No,
It's over. Yeah.
It's ended. I thought you said it's in again.
it's over.
It would not be on the field no more. So racism is.
I know. They took it right out of the end zone.
I learned that today.
But do you think it was fixing anything while it was in the end zone? Do you think anybody looked there and goes, "You know what? I'm not going to be a racist because it's painted in the back of the end zone because it's on Tom Brady's helmet."
That's his Twitter became X.
Yeah.
No, that definitely ain't gonna stop it. But hey, man, let's move on.
Yeah. No, look. What
Did you know it's Black History Month?
It's February.
I was just making sure.
Yeah.
I thought everybody stopped.
The shortest month of the year.
We had 29 days. It went down to 28. Trump coming off right on time. If it had been 29, he might have went crazy.
Trump may take another day off just to show his boss.
Take another day
off. Just to show his boss.
Take another day off.
That's hilarious.
Unreal.
What now? Will you go to parties while you're here? Or are you late?
Well, I need a party like I need a hole in my head. I go to dinners.
That's the way to go.
Hookah lounges.
Oh.
Yeah, smoke,
cigar
lounge, hookah lounge,
yeah.
have a little whiskey, a cigar.
Oh, you're a man now. You like man
brother,
stuff.
Listen, brother. I'm going to tell you like this here. The kids talking about 40's the new 30, 30's the new 20. Only thing I know, 8:30 is the new damn midnight. And I'm the new black. I run slow, jump low, shoot and swim good. And I'm in bed by 9:30. But I'm going to push it this week. I was up to, it was 10:45 last night I was up to.
Oh, really?
A crawfish boil.
No.
You know, it was a
I
little
would've
hot in my
been
mouth.
there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
cooking, you know, eating all kind of stuff. Pineapple sausages was in that thing
Oh,
last
wow.
night. Oh, it was insane.
Now, who is making this stuff?
A good friend of mine, Justin.
Yeah.
And then my girl, Shelly Richardson, you know, she owns damn near everything down here downtown. Trust me, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. We're going to have another one.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying.
We'll have another.
They told me that it's not crawfish season until March, and I said that's not true. I've been here for the Super Bowl, and I've eaten crawfish before, and I know Warren Sapp had crawfish last night. So
you just got to know the right people.
Yeah, I know. I don't quite have the.
Know somebody that knows somebody.
I got to tell you, I'm looking at Drago's, and it looks really good.
You got to know somebody.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a way to go. Those are big Gucci. Look at
big
that.
Gucci ones, baby. I like it. Come on, stop playing.
What's the plan for coaching next season? Yeah, you're back,
back.
everything that. Okay, I don't know.
We got the schedule, and I just looked at the spring. And
I thought maybe you were working for the Giants or
No,
the
thanks.
Cowboys
No,
or
thanks.
nothing, huh?
No thanks.
No.
Giants and the Cowboys didn't pull me off my couch. Prime did.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if Prime is making any of this. Yeah, I see you.
Listen, dog. We wherever my dog at, that's where I'm at.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
21-9-9, like 5-5 and 9-9.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say.
And the Bucks had control over that, and they did it. I got control over this, and I ain't going nowhere. I'm locked and loaded.
Oh, good.
I'm locked and loaded, my man. My man came and got me off the couch and gave me a whole new purpose and a motivation in life, and the kids just keep it going. They make it magical.
You
make it
love the
magical.
game, and for you to be able to teach these kids, I know you love to do that.
Go ahead, I'm telling you, dog, I wake up every morning, I drive. You got to come see me out there. I drive up over Table Mesa.
Beautiful mountain.
It's 180 degrees, just nothing
Yeah.
but just right across.
And
it's
all you
so
know is
magical.
flatland.
It's so magical and motivating to me every morning. I get in there, and then the boys there. And you know we got the black Nick Saban. You got to be there at 7:15. If you at 7:10, you late.
Right,
Trust me,
right,
you got to be
right.
there at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be in there, in your seat, locked and loaded, ready to go. No earrings, no hats. You know,
Straight. It's all
no,
serious.
no slides.
Right. I heard about that.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
It's grown folks action.
Yeah.
It's grown folks. We raising young men that is after generational wealth, and you want to retire your mother.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Miss Connie ain't worked since 1989, and my mama ain't worked since 95.
Right.
We know something about this, so
Yeah,
come along with
yeah,
it. Come
yeah.
along. Come along and ride on it. Fantastic voyage. Tip it slide.
Listen, there's 2 songs we sang on the show today. We might be putting together a boy band.
No. We might get copyright infringement.
No, I pay publishing rights. We're okay.
All
We're
right,
okay.
all right,
We
hey,
can
make
sing
sure.
all day if we
Well,
want to.
that is
Yeah.
that's what I like. The
Yeah.
Cowhead Show. That's what we're gonna start calling. Not the Mike Calta. The Cowhead Show.
Whatever. I'll always be to you and to a couple
Word.
other people. I'll always
How
be
about the corn
Cowhead.
dog?
Bert always calls me. I'll be corn dog to you.
Corn dog.
To this day, that's one of the funniest things I ever did. Ever. And
We
the
gotta
fact
break
that
it out.
you
You
got
gotta
to
break
see
it. You gotta break
I
it
will
out.
break it out.
You gotta break it out.
I will break
You
a
gotta
corn
break it
dog
out. You gotta play it. You gotta play it. Oh my God, it's classic. They don't know about that back in Tampa, but we know what we love you in Hillsborough County. We rep you all the way over here. Man.
Well, I appreciate you making time to come over here and see us and stop. At least I knew you'd have.
These other people grab me. I'm like, get away.
Yeah,
Get away. Get away. Gotta go see
I did
the
not
people.
expect you to be. Look at Jay Glazier. He's done some push-ups, huh? God damn.
No, they're just steroids. he ain't got enough good genes to build nothing up. You know that's got to be manufactured. Come on, man.
Maybe a little bit.
Come on.
Maybe a little
All
bit of
that's
human growth.
manufactured. He told me about the first time he went and fought in the MMA. He got so high he was in there just dumb and poof. Got submitted in 20 seconds. He had took a bunch of stuff and was out of his mind. Yeah.
Well, I thank you for coming
That's
by.
not natural.
No, I didn't think it was natural, but I thought maybe it was enhanced a little bit, but or a lot.
That's like a BBL right there, buddy. But it looks better.
Well, enjoy the rest of your time in New Orleans. You want any prediction for the game? What do you do for the
Tell
game?
me something you see in your life on a wall, a prediction, stat that tells you Patrick Mahomes is going to lose this game.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you
And
go.
there it
Oh,
is.
mic drop. Mic drop.
And we're out. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. And now sitting down with us, now I have to run you through the gauntlet here. This is Tyrus. You know him from Fox News. When we first met, you were Brodus.
Yes.
And I was Cowhead.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And we were in an elevator, and I was telling you, my dad had taken a picture of you when you split your head open at a house show, and there was a puddle of blood.
That was a pay-per-view.
It was a
In
pay-per-view?
Tampa.
I knew it was
Yes,
something.
Yes, yeah.
And you were like, can you send me that? Because the WWE never lets us see those pictures.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I still have that picture.
Isn't that crazy? Because
Yeah.
I've been searching for the last 3 hours trying to find it in my phone.
No, because the way I was laying on the ground, the way the blood came out, it looked like a murder scene.
Yeah.
What happened? Okay, so I don't know if I told you in the elevator. So Christian, and that was the night that he won the championship.
Right.
So it was a bad night for me and Alberto.
Yeah.
But so earlier in the day, they're bringing all the ladders out there.
Yeah.
And there was this little tiny ladder, and I made a joke. I said, hey, you might not be strong enough to take these big ladders. Why don't you use this little ladder right here, like just being a heel?
Right.
And he was like, real funny. So the match happens, and we actually we were in a similar situation where Jim Cornette was hanging.
Right.
And Bossman, or Big Bubba at the time,
Yeah.
caught him, or it didn't catch him. He ended up blowing his knees, and it was the same as we call the spot.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'll catch you.
Yeah.
I've watched that match a million times. It was
We will not
Cornette's
let that
fault.
happen
It wasn't,
again, yeah.
It wasn't Bubba's fault.
Yeah.
But I got you. Don't you
Yeah.
worry about it. And so when it happened, I caught him and everything and threw him down. And when I went he reached out and he grabbed that little ass ladder. And then when he hit me with that ladder, it busted me wide open.
Yeah.
But you would get fined for bleeding in the ring.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, this is a medical mystery, or I don't know how I did it. As soon as I felt it, I was starting to fall backwards, and I corrected myself and fell through the second ropes to the floor. I didn't get one drop of blood on the mat.
Oh,
so
you
it was
escaped
all
the
on the
fine.
mat, so it was
Yeah.
bleeding everywhere, right? And I get to the back, and the doc had to put 15 staples in my head. And Dusty walks in, he was like, hell, man, we ready for the Omni, baby. Like, we do this every night, you know. And the guy, Triple H came back, and they're like, you tough son. And then, like, hey, why didn't you stay in the ring? And I was like, I didn't want to get fined. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no kidding.
They started laughing because, hey, $500 for mid-card, that's a lot of money,
Yeah.
bro.
Sure, yeah.
So, but that's one of the cooler moments of my career. I always think back because people thought I was in. I still had to get up because Alberto had fell and I had to catch him.
Right.
So, and I remember the ref kept trying to put a towel on me. And
Yeah.
the ref, Spider, who I travel with, he was like, "You okay?" I said, "Get up, don't touch me, dog. Like, leave me alone." He's like, "You're bleeding everywhere." I'm like, "It's not that bad." But when I look back at that picture, I was like, "Wow, I probably dropped a pint of blood."
It looked pretty awful.
You don't realize how much you bleed from the top of your head.
How come you don't freak out? I'm a big guy. If I had blood like that, I'd be freaking out.
I think for one, when people depend on you,
Yeah.
I think your mindset is. And me, Alberto about to fall from a 20-foot ladder
Could be
to
worse
the floor.
if you don't.
And
yeah.
me saying, well, I couldn't go because I had a boo-boo on my
Right,
head.
right,
Yeah.
right.
You know, being an offensive lineman, being in real fights, working in bars, bodyguarding, when you get to the simulated comment that is our sport, I didn't feel that anything that happened there, you didn't already have an understanding. The weird things happen, but like that cut was a weird thing that wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened. But to panic in those situations would say a lot about you as a man.
I was just saying, that says a lot about you. Yeah.
Like, you know.
Back in the day, it would be great because I introduced you to my son, who was probably like 8 at the time, and I was super cool. Now, I introduced you to my dad, and my dad
yeah, it's kind of weird how it
you.
changes. Yeah, I went from kids then. The syndicate. What it is, big baby. How are you guys?
Yeah, my dad is obsessed with you to the point where he's mad because he can't figure out who you wrestle with, and like like you were coming somewhere, but it wasn't Tampa.
Oh, it was when I was with the NWA.
NWA, yeah.
Yes.
And I
And,
go,
we
I
did a
don't
show
know.
in Tampa.
Yes, but he
Yes.
couldn't figure out where because it's not big like at the
Well, what was
arena.
crazy was when they booked it, they had booked a smaller because the NWA was. Billy is still growing the company, and they did like I think it was like a 3,000 seat or whatever it was, but it had sold out in an hour because I was coming to Tampa.
Yeah.
So, but they were still keeping the trajectory because they're like, listen, we don't know how much longer you're going to keep going,
Right.
And if you're going to stay with us another 4 years, then we'll
do it. Yeah.
Because once the NWA championship was on the Super Bowl, I felt that my work was done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And like, I wrestling will never not be a part of my life. Every morning when I go get on the bike, I'm watching nothing but either Georgia or right now I'm knee deep in Barry Windham just turned on Lex Luger.
Oh, you're going back.
Oh, but that's the stuff you watch if you want to learn how to work.
Yeah.
You just watch Horsemen.
Yeah.
You watch if you want every guy in this is the WWE, WWF, WCW in Georgia Championship Wrestling. Every match had a story. So whether it was whether they were fighting over just getting the win or everything was personal, and every match had a story. There was a feud that you would follow, and guys would build these feuds, and they would have them all the way up at the top of the card, and that's how you create your art.
Any
is
sort
by
of
telling
heat,
a
any
story.
sort of
So you're not going to get it from superstars of the WWF because guys would come in and have your stars would squash match.
Right.
And then you would, and then the main event, Hogan had the storyline.
Yeah.
Savage had the storyline. And it was like the Intercontinental Championship and the World Championship, and then a couple feuds here and there. And most of the time it was just guys having matches. That was just, and listen, you can't knock it because it ended up being the winner.
Your biggest fan.
But in terms of learning, you got to watch the old stuff.
Right.
You got to watch that stuff to really, and I tell guys that, watch stuff. Plus, you'll see things you can steal that they don't do anymore.
Borrow.
Well, everything's stolen. Like otherwise, Thunderbolt Patterson would have. have been no Dusty Rhodes if you don't have Thunderbolt Patterson.
Yeah. Who is your guy coming up? Who is the one that you're like, I want to be like him? I want to do
Haku.
that. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to be. Yeah,
Just
and it's
big and mean.
And what's crazy is like he's family now. He's my son's grandfather.
Oh, nice.
So he's pa now. And he's such it's crazy. He's such an amazing grandfather. He's a grandfather to all my children, even the ones that are not his. Like, he's pa to everyone.
Right.
Why is it that everybody says out of all the guys in wrestling, Haku is easily the toughest guy? Nobody wants to fight Haku.
You know what? Probably because it's true.
Yeah, I mean, but did he whip a lot of ass, or did he just have the reputation?
You can reputation stories. I think whenever someone's legit, when you come from a background that he did, the sumo background, growing up in Tonga, being handpicked to go to Japan to sumo, to go through what he went through to get to the WWE. His first match was against Big John Studd at Madison Square Garden, and he had flown in from Egypt. And if you want to watch a match, you want to see where two big guys, just let's go. And Big John Studd's chest tore up, and the place is going. When he does the haka dance, when he knocks him out of the ring, and the place is Madison Square Garden's going insane.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps just talking about it, and the next thing I know, I want to be a wrestler. But he was so committed to the character. And I think that's the thing. And then legends, and there's some off the field stuff, but I think when you're legit, you don't have to talk about it.
Right.
And the guy who's got fight stories that he tells himself,
right?
I'm not worried about that guy.
Yeah.
I'm also not worried about the guy who walks around who acts the toughest and makes loud noises.
That's
when he
me. I'm the
lifts
guy who
weights.
says you could beat up a bobcat and all
Yeah,
that stuff. Yeah.
it's the guy when the fight's going on, and there's the guy in the corner who's like this.
That's the guy you watch out for.
That's always how I carried myself, and recognized we met. Like, I was dating his daughter, and everyone was like, "You are out of your mind." And she's like, "Hey, my dad wants to meet you," and I was like, "Cool."
Yeah, I bet he does.
We met at a Golden Corral, and it was crazy. Our plates identically matched.
Right.
We picked the same foods.
Yeah.
Little pot roast for everybody.
And so I handed him. I said, "Hey, man, I got to talk to you about Madison Square Garden before we talk about your daughter, because that's
priority."
And we've been best friends like ever since then.
That's cool.
And,
That's great.
Yeah. So he's super cool. And again, when you have a match like Funkasaurus was hard for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like a punishment at first, and it was when I was going to quit. Like, real talk, I was going to quit.
Yeah.
And I went back, and when I debuted on TV, Dusty had already chewed my ass, and he says, "You think you're better than me?" He put me in polka dots. I made money with it. Like, what's your issue?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to dance. That's just not who I am, and I don't want to do it. And I went home, and I was on Monday Night Raw, and the tape, and it's a Wednesday, and he comes in, and I press play, and he's just laughing and clapping, and he's like, "I'm so proud of you. This is so great." And I was like, "No, I'm dancing, and it's bad." And he's like, "This is great. You could do this to your 100. He's like, "You do a little dance, you kick it." He's like, "I'm so proud. Whose idea was this?" And I was like, "It's mine." But it changed my entire outlook on what it is, because that's not what my dream was.
Right.
But then, you make it work. And now when I look back at it, when I have people who stop, they're grown now, which is a little daunting.
We all got old.
And Father Time's funny. And they'll come up to me like, "Yo, you brought me in the ring and I danced with you." And I was like, you know what? JYD did that.
Yeah.
And like, I always wanted to wish I could have been in the ring with JYD. So it's kind of cool. That's actually better than the championship. And I got a chance to capture championship gold with the NWA, and that was cool for my career. But when I look back on it, none of my heroes had titles. Like Big John Studd, Paul Orndorff, Haku, he was tag team champs with Andre the Giant, which is my favorite tag team of all time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, very rarely are the guy, Hercules Hernandez, the guys that I loved and wanted to be like and emulate, they never had titles in the WWF, ever the places they did. But so for me, that really helped me put things in perspective when I look back at my career.
How do you make the big jump now? I mean, it must be so hard to. And I watched the 5. I've watched you for a long time. I see that you belong there. But a lot of these people don't take wrestlers seriously in the first place, let alone something as serious as this.
Not until you kick their ass on TV.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, like, I always said, there's nobody smarter and more clever than a wrestler, because we got to do it now.
Right.
We're not like, that's why acting is pretty easy, but the retakes drive us crazy because we're not used to those retakes.
Sure.
So that's the biggest adjustment for wrestlers when it comes to acting. But if you're a smart dude, and I've always been smart, and our locker rooms was very different than the locker rooms before us. All our locker rooms was one-upping each other and knowing everything. And then when you have somebody like Kane, Glenn Jacobs, who is talking about saving your money and what to do with your money and how your taxation works, and things like that. And at first, I'll be like, I'm not paying attention. I'd rather make fun of Kofi for wearing white leather shoes, and and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, what is he talking about? And then it makes sense. And when you have guys that were talking about futures, and they're like, and one of the things, my last day in the WWE, I came into the facility to roll around because I was getting to relaunch, right? And Dusty was there, and it was the weirdest thing. And he was playing the damn music I can't stand. He was playing Sweet Caroline, and he's got the whole place. He's got the whole place empty. There's nobody else in there. And I was like, I thought I was gonna have a couple guys roll around with me. And he's like, I want to talk to you. And and I was like, he's like, get out of the ring. And then we sat down, and he kept the music loud because he didn't want anybody else to hear. He says, I need you to paint your canvas. The entire time you've been here, you haven't painted your canvas. You haven't done what you want to do yet, and it might not be here. Might be somewhere else.
Wow.
He's like, so no matter what happens, and I was like, oh, okay, boss. He's like, I need you to be you. And he's like, be you. And I was like, okay. And didn't understand it, but he always talked to me in riddles. And of course, the next day I got canned, so then I figured out, son of a bitch, he knew. Mm-hmm. But he couldn't tell me because he wasn't allowed to. Right. But he kind of
gave
was
you
just
a nice send-off.
Right. But he told me in the words, it's like, you're better than this place treats you, is what and I have absolutely no issues with the WWE. It is what it is. But it forced me to say, I'm going to paint my canvas. And so I went to TNA. Called me. I was unemployed in wrestling for about 8 seconds.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
So I was in TNA, Japan. I'm doing all these things, and then I get one opportunity on Fox, and I make one joke, and Greg was like, I would make you a co-host. And I literally said to him, I'm a wrestler.
Yeah.
And I don't do talk show TV. Basically was the gist of it in a polite way. And then he was like, once a month. And then I started going, and then all of a sudden the big Fox money started coming. And
I don't want to get thrown through a ladder anymore.
I was able to juggle the both of them and then build a career. And then I wrote the book. And then all of a sudden I have all these revenue streams coming in, and my kids are getting older. And like my kids now have events. And it's like, do you want to go to daddy's wrestling events, or do you want daddy at your events? Mm-hmm. And they made a vote. I got 4 of them. And they're like, we would rather you come to ours. So it was. I wasn't quite ready to retire, but my kids were ready for me to retire.
But also, let me ask you this: when was the last time at Fox somebody sent you a picture of you on the floor bleeding?
It's true.
No, you know what it is? They don't do that. Yeah. They send a picture of their mom with a quilt that she's made for me. It says, I love Tyrus.
There you go.
Or some weird stuff like, or they'll say stuff like, an old lady who's like, I go to bed with you every night. Every night you're in my bedroom. And her husband's like, it's true. And you're like, oh.
Weird.
Thank you. I don't know how to quite feel about that. So,
well, I mean, you certainly, I mean, it seems like it seemed like it was a lot quicker than it was, but you've been doing this for a long time now.
It's been over 10 years.
Yeah, but it seems like it was just went like that.
I think it did feel like that. And also, I didn't leave one for the other,
right?
Which I think is important. Will I never wrestle again? I probably will at some point, as long as I'm physically. I feel like I won't disrespect the business, and plus, I'm still mad in the bull rope match with. I forgot I had the bull rope on for a minute after I got DDT through the floor, and I went to hit the ropes, and it was the rope, so I pulled up, and then I did probably the worst splash of my entire life. Like, that's the one I'm going to be remembered for. And like, it didn't matter anything out of the match, the coolness of the match or whatever the hell. All I'm watching is this. All I'm watching is that, and I'm just like, and it eats at you, But you got to let it. You got to let it go. You got to put it in perspective. But
well, it's like you said, you're never done. You'll find a way to come back.
I mean, hell, like. Flair's hitting about wrestling again. Please don't.
Yeah. But, now, are you enjoying these first couple of days with Trump? I mean, it's if anything the best TV ever.
Yeah. Well, he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
I hate politics, and it's.
How could you say that?
Because doing what you say you're going to do is not political.
Right.
Keeping a promise, keeping your word, is something that we should all do. The politics of it is you keep your word with an asterisk or a but or what have you or this, that, whatever. And he's not doing that because the good news is he doesn't have to run again.
Yeah.
And he can't run again. So there's he doesn't have to worry about laying tracks for the future, which all politicians, all they ever do is they get in. And what do they do when they get in? All they want to do is start to rerun to get in. So everything they said. So what we're getting right now is the Democratic Party is losing their mind because he put Elon and Vivek. And we're seeing all the money laundering operations go up. But I would just like to point out, that's not a Democrat thing.
That's
a senator thing. Now, the Republicans are behaving, and a congressman thing, they're behaving because they have to. Mm-hmm. But watch midterms. because eventually those same lobbyists that cut checks for their campaigns are going to be like, how long are you going to?
Yeah.
So that's why he's doing things so fast, because he's not. The president is one thing he's not is stupid.
Yeah.
And he knows that the swamp is all inclusive, and they work us like wrestling. They act like they're enemies in front of the camera, and then like, okay, well, you do this, and then your campaign gets
making
this,
deals,
and I get this.
Right?
And then my uncle gets in charge of jobs he shouldn't be having, and we saw that with the Biden family being exposed. But unfortunately that's the norm, and what we're seeing is the stopping of that, and hopefully Americans will start voting based on those who are just there to do the work. Because if you looked at politics like sports, let's take AOC for example. She is a polarizing person. She's everywhere, right? But as in the House, she's never passed a law. She's never had anything registered. In her career, she hasn't really done anything except run Amazon out of her city.
Right.
Now, that's not a Democrat.
That's the truth.
That's political malpractice is what it is. But because she's good on TV and says, she just called Elon Musk stupid.
I saw that.
The guy makes rockets that come back.
Yeah, you probably maybe not the word.
Yeah.
You want to make fun of the way he waves? Cool.
Yeah.
He's not athletic. You can't have it all. But that just goes to, and then you have Republicans that, you'll have the guy up there with the 3-piece suit and says he talks to Jesus every day before he walks out of his house.
Right.
Turns out he's got 3 families in 4 different cities. You know what I'm saying? So it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he's fearlessly and it's a weird thing, man. Him and I, we hit it off on the show, but it was how he talked to my family that I was like, you know what, man, you have to meet the man to understand the man. And that goes with anybody in life. So not everyone's going to meet the president. I got a chance to meet with him. I did an interview with him. Apparently it was all right. And ever since then, there's been like a mutual respect, and it's kind of cool, and
Sure.
But what I was most impressed with is that he would sit down with a wrestler for 40 minutes and talk world policy and talk things. And some of my ideas, which everyone thought was crazy, like, for example, I said, hey, if we treated the people who brought fentanyl in from Canada in Mexico like terrorists, the army could get involved, the police could stick to police work, and you would not have many restrictions.
You gave him the idea.
It's on tape.
Right,
and I'm sure somebody else did with a
Right.
suit and a tie, but it's just, and then he was like, I never thought of it that way.
Well, that's what he's doing.
Because his first move was like, anyone who gets caught selling fentanyl, I think, was the death penalty. Like, I think we're going to roll that back.
That's a little much.
Just a scotch. But I'm with you. That and the thing about not taxing, taking veterans shouldn't have to pay taxes when they come home.
Yeah, that's great.
I think
like
that's they paid with blood and sweat. And if you lost a serviceman or woman, your family should benefit from that.
Absolutely.
Because it's the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm not doing, and I appreciate all the guys who actually do it, and guys and girls who do it.
Yeah, right, because we can sit here and do this.
And because of that,
Because of them.
I did get to meet him. Guess where? At WrestleMania.
He's a wrestler.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
I met him at the Hall of Fame, and I'm so glad that I decided to go take a leak at the right time and run into him, because now I got a picture with the president.
But he's a normal guy.
Yeah, he's a normal dude.
Guy.
Yeah.
Tell you like it is, whether you like it or not.
Well, I got to tell you, I was a little bit nervous in the beginning, and then I voted for him. I voted for him twice, and I'm glad that he's doing what he said he would do so quickly.
I voted for Barack twice, and I voted for President Trump 3 times.
So
wait a second. Yeah, because you lost
missed one. Yeah. Well, listen, I now you got your own show on Outkick.
I'm doing some stuff with Outkick, and then I'm getting ready to, spoiler alert, I'm launching a radio podcast show with Fox Radio here pretty soon. So, and of course, Gutfeld, you can't miss us.
Yeah.
Number 1, not even close. Colbert, Kimmel, you guys keep being woke.
Who talks a lot of smack about you that you should take it up when you see him is Joe Mackey. Whenever he's on the show, he's got a lot of bad things to say about you.
When Joe Mackey's voice comes in, once he crosses puberty, I'll feel more comfortable smacking him around.
I would just love to read you smacked him in the face for no reason because we started trouble.
I don't know what happened. Like, Tyrus, want to work out? Let's get that bass up, and I'll see what happens. But,
thank you so much for making time to come on over here.
It's a real pleasure, man. It's great seeing you again.
You too. I'm glad that you're having such great success. A lot of times they look at you guys, you wrestlers, like you're dummies, and there you are showing them between you and Kane and all the guys at JBL. There's guys there with brains that know what they're doing.
Listen, to get 10,000 people to cheer and love what you're doing, and everyone knows.
Yeah.
You got to be smart or a criminal. One or the other.
Tyrus, thank you very much, man. We'll take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. We're going to be out here talking to as many people as we can that are of interest. And our next guest, Jesus Christ, if you could see her, she is of interest.
Yeah, Bone TV is where you want to be.
Yeah. If you're not on Calta.tv right now or on Bone TV, you are missing out. Let's let Paige get her headphones on and get situated. If I could just explain to you how much better looking you are than the last person that sat there.
Who sat down? What's my competition, though?
Gerald McCoy. But it's been a series of ugly people. No, I'm just kidding. First of all, congratulations on all your success. Last Pages. Everybody is clamoring over you. I have never seen sports nerds in more of a fluster than they are as you have walked through here between today and yesterday. Can you explain for the people that can't see what exactly you're wearing today?
Yes.
As a man who knows nothing about fashion, clearly you are wearing something that you would wear almost to bed, if you will.
I am wearing a white dress with lace around the bust area, and it has little hearts in honor of Valentine's Day coming up.
Beautiful.
Little heart candies, and then I'm wearing almost knee-high leather white boots.
Did you guys want to know what I'm wearing, or?
When you get dressed in the morning, or you're like, I am gonna wow these nerds the minute I walk in there. Because think about it, all we're talking to is 300-pound black dudes and then little skinny white nerds. There's no in the middle in sports. Then all of a sudden, one hot chick walks in here, and you're like, these guys are going nuts.
No, I've always had a pretty unique personal style, and I like things that are form-fitting, and I carry that over to, it just makes me feel good. I carry that over to golf, to working out, and everything that I do, and it's just how I feel most comfortable.
Well, I'm glad you feel comfortable. How much golfing do you still do?
A lot.
Do you really?
Yeah. Game is good.
You're great. I live on a golf course, own a golf cart. I right there on the hole. I can see them every morning. Have no desire. Never been out there and don't.
Ever?
I've done it before,
Okay.
and he seems to think it's just because I'm not good at it. But I'm not good at a lot of things I continue to do.
But I
give
say
you lessons.
Yeah, well, that might be a different story.
Also, it's a lot easier when you're good at something. I mean, if you're good at it, you're going to want to do it more. If you're bad at it, you're like, all right, well, that's why people give up.
Golf is unique, though, where with other sports, it's like you put the time and energy in, you're going to see results.
Yeah.
Golf, it's almost the opposite. And I think
worse.
that's why people are addicted to it. I say the most toxic relationship I've ever had is with golf. It's such a love-hate relationship because you put in the time and the work and you show up, and one day you feel like Tiger Woods.
Right.
And the next day you're like, I have never held a golf club before in my life, and I don't know what I'm doing. And it drives you insane, but there's just something about it. You just have to hit that one pure, perfect shot, and you are hooked.
Yeah, but like I go to Topgolf and I'm like, oh, I might be a pro, and then I go. But here's the thing, like I think this is also the problem, and this certainly doesn't apply to you. But you know how like Jimmy Buffett's music, I like it. I'll listen to sit in the pool.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to a concert because I don't want to be around other Jimmy Buffett fans. I think I feel that way about some golfers. It's just a bunch of old white dudes sometimes. I'm talking about the ones in my house, and I think that maybe I just don't feel like I fit in with the group.
Preach.
By the
Every
way,
day of my entire life, you show up to a golf course and everyone's like, who let the cart girl out to play today?
by the way, I hate to break it to you, old white guy.
Yeah.
Get yourself some Bermuda shorts, you'll fit right in.
Hey, is cart girl not the best job in the world? I mean, those girls. I watch, like, if I go playing a celebrity thing, and I watch the guys clamor over the cart girl, and she's like, "Oh, what man?" And then she's just raking in the cash. I go, "Good for you,
Oh,
genius."
yeah.
I love a girl with a good OnlyFans and a good cart girl. Anyone who's going to be smart enough to take the money.
I
I'm
used
very
to
proud
tell
of.
every girl that I knew whenever they were like, I need to make some more money. I go, cart girl. I go,
Yeah.
you'll make so much money.
It's a fun job, too.
And you get to be out in the sun doing all that stuff. But yeah, you play those guys for all their money.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Always.
You got a boyfriend, a husband? What do you got?
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I'm old and I'm married, so I'm not trying to hit on you. I'm just asking you.
The number one man in my life is my dog, Nico.
I love that. I love
What's
that
Nico?
answer.
What kind of dog?
So it's so funny. I rescued him 9 years ago. His birthday was just on
Oh,
January
nice.
31st. And they were like, he's going to be 20 pounds at most. He's a cattle dog mix. He's 80 pounds.
Wow.
And I did the doggy DNA, and there is no cattle dog in him. He's just a mix of everything, and he's the best boy ever.
Oh, see, when you get a rescue, that's the way it goes.
Oh, my gosh.
Show you my sweet girl. That's Gypsy.
Yes, Nico looks kind of like that.
Oh,
he
really?
has the ears.
Belgian?
He has a little bit of Malinois, a little bit of Shepherd,
Nice.
a little bit of Hound in him. But he has these itty bitty paws. And so when I rescued him, like, he's going to be small because he has these baby paws. Now he has this huge body and these baby paws. So size doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a midget cat, like seriously a dwarf cat. Like it's the one like it's,
Little short
it's
legs.
a short leg. It looks like it's creeping up on you when it walks. It's hilarious. Tell us what else we could plug for you. I know you got the show on YouTube.
Yeah, so I'm working with Sports Grid, and we created Lost Pages, which
Yes.
is a destination for fantasy, gambling, casino, lifestyle, and our first show that launched on February 2nd was Gimme Props. And so people will send in prop bets, and then I have to try to see what I can do with them.
Oh, nice.
And they're really fun bets. They're like, for example, the second episode was a huge double-stack burger, like the size of my head.
Right.
And I had to finish it in under 5 bites.
Did you do it?
You're going to have to watch the
I love
episode.
it.
You can
I
find
love
that on the YouTube channel.
So what is that called again? The segment?
Lost Pages.
Lost Pages.
No, the segment.
Gimme
Give me
Props.
props, and then there's show us your tips.
Show us your tips.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
We just keep it going. You know, like you said, you love a woman who can lean in.
That's
and
so much fun.
I love the bit, and I always say if like you're following me, you're in on the know, and
Yeah.
you know, we just have fun with it. Because I think people take social media, and especially sports and golf, way too seriously.
Sure.
And there's just so much bad going on in the world and on social media. When people come to my site to see my content, I want to make them laugh and smile, and they don't feel like they have to have their guard up. They can just have fun with me,
But
and I have fun back.
Can I be honest with you? Why?
Yeah.
When you get a beautiful girl that comes and sits down with a bunch of dudes and you don't know what to expect, I just assume she's going to be kind of bitchy right out of
Yeah,
the gate.
snotty.
You have no bitchy in you at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I was a late bloomer, so I had to really wow people with my personality first,
Yeah,
and then
it
like
worked.
it popped up, and I was like, oh, well, these are helpful.
These will work. So when can I ask you is when you're on in social media, and like when did you realize you were like, we're going viral, this is happening?
It was so funny. I remember it like it was yesterday. I just won a big golf tournament. My phone was blowing up, and I was like, this is weird. How does everyone know that I just won this tournament?
Right.
I feel popular. And I flip it over, and they were like, someone just wrote an article about you, and it's everywhere. And so I went from having 400 followers to 100,000 followers overnight.
That's crazy.
And I'm actually very introverted, and so that it was just a very overwhelming experience. And this was about 10 years ago now. There was no career to do this either. So
Right.
this was all just happening to me, and I didn't know what to do.
I mean, I would imagine you were super young.
22?
Yeah.
21?
That's
yeah.
that's a whole
it was
new life
crazy,
at
and
that time,
my
yeah.
parents didn't really understand social media, and it was just brand new, and so I was just kind of like in the fetal position, rocking back and forth, and being like, what's happening to my life? And I mean, I'm so lucky to be able to do what I do, and I have the best job ever. I mean, I never thought that my job would be eating burgers and like wearing bathing suits.
How
and
do we
playing
get
golf.
the prop bets in? What do I have to do? If I'm watching the show, I just send them in there through an email?
Yeah, on the YouTube channel, just leave a comment, and
we'll come up with some
Yeah,
stuff.
we will shout you out. I mean, they're so fun. Like, how many marshmallows can I stick in my mouth? And a lot of really interesting, fun prop bets. So sky's the limit, and you can ask whatever you want.
Guys love girls who are fun and willing to do fun. Like we have a girl on our show who's sick today. She had to leave early, but we could ask Carmen to do about anything, and she'll do it for the fun of it. And that's what makes everything so great.
Life is too short to not have fun.
Lost Pages on YouTube. Go find it. I can't wait to check it out now. I want to see you ate the burger, and you're a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Let us know if you ever come to Tampa. We'd love to have you come on the show if you
Definitely.
come back.
There's some good golf in Tampa.
Who do you got in the Super Bowl?
So I'm a Steelers fan, so it's really hard.
What is
Both my parents are from Pittsburgh,
Oh, same.
and so it's hard to root for
Against-
the
yeah.
Eagles. So, and I love Saquon Barkley. I think he's one of the most kind, amazing human beings ever. But I'm a Swiftie, so my decision was based off of Taylor Swift's happiness.
Yep.
And so I'm going to root for the Chiefs. And it'd be
All right.
cool to see them make history as well. I know
Sure.
people hate on dynasties, but hey, you know,
Hey, look, we got two teams that have been there before. And might as well have a three-peat. We'll see what happens.
let's go for it.
Paige, thank you. You're awesome. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me on. I had so much fun, guys.
We'll take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. I got to tell you, we've seen a lot of people here that I grew up watching. This next guy that we got coming on the show was scary. Look at him. He looks so scary now, right?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I
looks
mean,
like a nice guy.
Yeah, looks like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's save it for it. This is Hall of Famer John Randle, who's making his way in here. I have to tell you, sir, first of all, very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming by. Very scared when you were younger. Now you look like such a sweet guy. But, man, when you had that eye makeup on, that was very intimidating.
Well, thank you.
What made you go all crazy with it, like as opposed to just doing the lines? And I know people experimented a little bit, but it quickly became your signature, and it was very intimidating looking.
I had some guys I played with who were from like Florida, and they were kind of real different guys. But we watched this movie called Young Guns.
Of course.
You know, Emilio Estevez and Lou Diamond Phillips. And one time Lou Diamond Phillips went over the hill, put the paint on.
Oh, he came out. Yeah. You guys do peyote, too?
I was going to try anything we damn near get our hands on, because I'm like, I'm going over this hill. So it was kind of a thing where I went to a lot of different seminars, and one of them was like, hey, one point in your life, you're going to be on the edge, and you're going to have to jump. And that was a sign for me.
Yeah.
Young Guns, you want to jump. I'm like, and so we were in the locker room putting on paint. Guys were doing it like this. One dude was putting on his butt, on his legs, and I'm over there, and they go, you got to do it too. So I just kind of rubbed on my eyes, and I'm watching these dudes do lines like this, neck, and I'm just like, oh, God, what is wrong with these guys? They're from Florida, they're from Memphis, and all of a sudden, mine was all over my face, and I went out there, and I got like 2 sacks or 3 sacks. And I'm like,
that was it. That was a jumping point.
I'm superstitious. I'm like, I got to do it.
Sure.
But then I kind of went way overboard, because back then they would put the playbook, the programs in your lockers, on your chairs. So I would take the kickers and the punters program and rub them all myself. I'm like, I got to get their juju and all that stuff.
Really? You were that superstitious, huh?
Oh, I didn't shake hands before the game. I didn't listen to like rap before the game, or I would listen to like what's his name, Pavarotti.
Oh, really?
I would listen to YouTube, Bono, and all that. It got me all pumped up, man. Joshua Tree, can't be nothing better than Joshua Tree.
That is hilarious. It's a great album.
I'm a weird dude.
No, that's not weird. It's unexpected of you, but I think that's hilarious.
Whatever works.
Yeah, it just fired me up, man. I was just like, get in that zone.
Yeah. That I remember what it was the pizza commercial that you got. It was you and Hovan and somebody else, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And you came there. I was like, I don't know who that guy is. It was very intimidating.
Well, because my second year, I'm in the league, and I come in the game for Chris Dolman, and I'm coming out there for like 2 plays. I get out there, and this dude named Jackie Slater. I didn't know who he was.
Right.
His helmet was too tight, face is all scrunched up in it, and he's looking at me like, we're going to kill you. We're going to get you. I'm like, I didn't do anything. We're going to get you.
I just got here.
He's in a 2-point stand, and I'm thinking, oh, it's a pad, but it was a run block. He's just hitting me. And I go to the sideline, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at my coach, and he just goes, So the following week, I go against another guy named Anthony Munoz.
Yeah.
And I go to the sideline, I'm like, Coach, what can I do? Just hold on, son. Just hold on. So after that, I was like, I've got in the mirror, I'm like, kind of this crazy movie with Estevez, but what was the dad name?
Sheen. Apocalypse Now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That movie.
Yep.
And, dude, John Turling, we start off by watching practice film. No. He made us watch alligators, crocodiles, cheetahs, gazelles. He goes, you see that gazelle? See how it's peeing when it runs? That's how you guys got to approach the game. That's how you got to do. You see how that alligator's just like rolling with that food? That's what we got to do. Roll you guys. He goes, if I call you at 4 a.m. in the morning, you better say I'm rushing the quarterback. If you don't know what to do, rush the quarterback. And so,
that's the mentality. That's old school. Now, funny thing, I was reading before you got here. Tried out for our Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
Did not make the team.
And didn't make the team. And my roommate was Ian Beckles.
No, that's our guy.
Yeah, everybody knows Beck. 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2".
Yeah.
Right. We have a 6'2" jersey hanging in our studio.
Man, tell him I said hello. I follow him on Instagram. Beckles my guy, man.
You want to talk about weird guys. Like looking at you, I would never look at you and say, this is a guy who listens to U2 and Pavarotti before a game. And then there's Beckles, that Canadian hippie.
Oh.
Just smoking weed and hanging out.
Hey, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, well,
man.
he's living the life.
He's come a long way, man. I spent a lot of time down in Tampa. My brother played down there. Back then, you guys had a place called Confetti's. I was a high school kid, didn't know what the hell I was doing hanging out in Confetti's. But I come down for Derek Brooks golf tournament, Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
And Tony Dungy used to call Tampa. It was Tampa 2. So he goes, Tampa.
Yep,
I always call Tampa.
Real quick before I know you're on a tight schedule, but one thing. When you first went in to try out for the league, they told you were too small.
Yeah.
And you came back and wore a chain under your sweatshirt. Is that real?
Yeah, so what happened was my old roommates, who I still talk to, who went to Southern Miss, same school with Brett Favre. He was there with Brett, named William Kursky. He and I were 2 free agents. So it was right around almost time for a cut date.
Yeah.
So William and I, 2 country boys, we went to this hardware store, just messing around. They already told me I needed to gain some weight. And I'm like, well, hell, that ain't going to happen, William. And William, you're not going to beat out any of the linebackers. So in this hardware store, and the guy, we were looking at chains and stuff going, man, take this chain right here. And the guy goes, that chain there weighs about 10 pounds. 10 pounds? I said, can you cut this? How much you want? So put it around my waist, got a padlock, and it fit, and he was like, that much? So back then when they did weigh-ins, they didn't tell you to take your sweats off.
Right.
So, man, I put the chain on, put the sweats over, and I remember sitting there waiting for that guy to call my name. And I'm sitting there, legs shaking, going, John Randle. Oh, I get up on the scale. He says 252. I don't know where the hell you hiding it at, but God doing it, 252.
It worked?
Yeah.
It worked.
It works.
All right, I know you got to go. Real quick, you're teeing up with the inaugural James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational.
Yes.
How do people get information about that?
Man, first of all, you go to the James Hardy #1 sighting in North America, and this tournament, which is for Sports Habitat for Humanity International, First Tee, and Boca Raton Regional Hospital, and one of the programs on it is the Birdies for Bill, which is each birdie gives $100 to the foundation.
Nice.
And I'm excited to be a part of it because it's Hall of Fame legend with golf legends, and we're excited to be out there playing some golf and teeing it up for our inaugural first tournament and down in Boca Raton at Broken Sound, and I'm excited about it.
Good. I hope it's a huge success, man. I really
Thank
do,
you.
and I appreciate you stopping by here. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet y'all.
We'll take a quick break. I'll tell Ian Beckles you said hi.
Tell my man what's up, 6'2".
It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. It's 102.5 The Bone. Excuse me, I have to cough. We are live at Radio Row, powered by Bud Light and Hard Rock Bet. And we were just getting ready to kind of like get on and wrap things up. And we were throwing a curveball, the kind of curveball that you like to get.
Someone called a pitch of football.
We were going to come on, talk a little bit, and then be like, well, we've had a great time. And then we got a phone call and said, this guest would like to come on the show. And I said, no more guests. We're done. We got to wrap the show up. And they said, that guest is the all-time leading rusher in the NFL, Emmitt Smith. And we said, okay, we'll definitely do one more guest.
I guess we'll make some time.
I don't know where he is. For the all-time leading rusher, he sure moves real slow.
she called me. She said, do you still want Emmitt Smith? Because I was talking to her yesterday.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. I go, right now? She's like, right now. We're coming in. She's like, you're in the same spot? Same spot.
Yeah. All right, good. I don't know what Emmitt Smith is promoting, but I do want to talk to him about his time, of course, in playing in Dallas and for Jerry Jones and what he thinks is going to happen there.
Yeah, for sure.
If he thinks that Deion Sanders would possibly be the new coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
I want to talk to him about his fantastic commercials with him and Dan Marino and Jerry Rice and those guys.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's been the best.
Those are really good. I got to tell you, some of the commercials that they've already put out are better than the Super Bowl ones.
Yeah. That's the thing. The Super Bowl has so much to live up to when it comes to commercials.
There he is.
Look at this guy.
Still looks fantastic.
You look. He's not yelling at us. I think he's walking around with Metamucil.
Yeah, I think he does commercials for Metamucil.
Does he? Is that
I
what
believe
he does?
so, yeah.
Hey, Gio, can you get with the lady and see what he's promoting? See what he's promoting.
There you go.
What's up, Emmitt Smith? Have a seat, brother. Let me see. What do you got here?
Got some Narcan.
Narcan. Well, nobody's going down today. Yeah.
First of all, we down here in Nolan's. We want everybody to have a good time.
Yeah.
But also, we want you to protect yourself too.
Yeah.
So much stuff out there trying to take everybody out. It don't take much.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let me look you up close. This is like when you see an Avenger in real life. I mean, seriously. I met Evel Knievel when I was a kid. I met Hulk Hogan, and now I'm seeing Emmitt Smith. This is a big deal.
Shoot, I'm sure you met more than just Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, but I mean, there are certain people
levels.
that rise.
There's levels
above.
to it all.
Yeah,
Okay. Not many people come bringing that energy like I bring.
Yeah, no. I gotta be honest with you. I kind of expect you to be a little bit mopey. Like, I don't want to do this for the third day. And talk to people and
man,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Life is good, man.
Do you think that the time you played in the system was the most fun time, that it'll never be like that again?
So
much has changed.
I think so much has changed, and the change is good, but also change can be, it depends on what type of change we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But today's game itself is completely different than
Sure.
the game when we played. Back in the day, if you come across that 15-yard down the field, across the middle zone, and Ronnie Lott is back there, or Jack Tatum is back there, or Steve Atwater is back there, you're getting lit up.
Yeah.
Nowadays, guys can go back there and hang out and, eat a sandwich before somebody can hit them. You know what I'm saying? And then when you hit them, you got to hit them just right and everything else. You just can't. It's just a different game.
Yeah.
And so
we have definitely been enjoying your television commercials.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what a great idea that was.
I just walked in and saw my unretired partner, Dan Marino, over there. I said, you ready to unretire some more? He put his glasses on and looked at his wrist and said, I don't have the right place.
It's amazing, though, to see some of you guys and how, some guys, you're in great shape. Marino's in great shape. Some guys really stuck with it.
Well, we try to do the best we can, what we have to work with. But, having a good foundation is what most athletes do leave the game with. Great health is extremely important, but at the same time, we have to learn how to adjust.
Yeah.
Whether it's drinking habits, eating habits, sleeping habits, all kinds of habits.
Sure.
And so I'm a guy I've been doing intermediate fasting for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now.
And you find that to be effective for you?
Dude, I could probably eat 1 to 2 meals a day.
Really?
And everything, walking up and down this place right here, eating 1 to 2 meals a day,
Yep.
cutting down on my alcohol consumption, drinking plenty of water and fluid, retention stuff, I'm good.
No, when you say cut down on your alcohol, where was the alcohol?
No, literally.
I'm just kidding.
no, it's the difference. See, I got 6 Bud Lights right in front of me,
Staring
right?
you in the
I
face.
don't need to drink all 6.
No.
Give me 1.
You can have one.
Or 1.5.
Guess who drank one? Who's the only person to drink one the whole weekend?
Who?
Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp?
Warren Sapp said, give me one.
He popped that open as soon as he sat down.
Yep.
But Sapp, that's Sapp though. But different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But for me, this is the way I like to do it.
Right.
And everything has to be in moderation. It has to be balanced. You know what I'm saying?
Can you see Deion Sanders being the coach of the Dallas Cowboys?
Yes, I can see
Can
that.
you see him getting along with Jerry Jones, or does Jerry Jones have to step aside?
Well, I ain't gonna say he has to step aside, but I think that he has some level of football influence and respect for both sides of the ledger.
Sure.
Sometimes coaches come to the table with just one aspect of the game, and that's just football related, period. What Deion brings to the table is a combination of not only football operational experience, but also marketing experience, how these things impact the marketing side of the business. And that may be the one bridge that Jerry may need to have in order to get things turned around in the direction that it needs to go. So coaches like to focus on what they want to focus on, period. But with a guy like Deion, he focused, as one of his commercials used to be, I do both.
Yeah.
You know?
The great Emmitt Smith is sitting down with us, and you are here on behalf of Narcan. Now, my wife is a therapist. I'm familiar with Narcan and how it can save lives.
Right.
What are you trying to get the word out about?
Well, of course, I've been working with Narcan for the last two years, trying to spread the word along with about opioid overdoses. And we're right here in New Orleans, where the national average itself is going down. But here in New Orleans, the average is higher than the national average.
Really?
I mean, deaths are rising here. And so being here in New Orleans for the Super Bowl itself, and knowing that there's going to be a lot of people ascending right here in the city over the next three days to watch the Super Bowl, I want people to be equipped, want people to be ready, just in case you come across somebody that's non-responsive, and you have Narcan in your purse or in your bag or in your backpack or whatever, you got access to it. Insert these the nasal spray into the nasal and give them a couple squirts and call for help.
Save somebody's life.
Trying to save somebody's life. My saying is, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So it's the Get Ready campaign right now. Stay ready and be ready for almost anything.
I'm one of those guys that I wouldn't say like I'm a prepper, but I have a bunch of tools that I'll never use, like axes and stuff like that. I never chopped the damn thing out of my life. But that's when I always feel like you should just have it just in case.
Right.
Yeah, keep it in the glove compartment.
I mean, even in your house, you have a fire extinguisher just in case
Right.
something goes wrong. You got an alarm on your house just in case something goes wrong, whether it's smoke detectors or alarms that shows windows open and doors are broken and so forth. But you got these things as protection. You have also insurance just in case you need it. So here's a just in case moment. You take Narcan and you walk around with it, whether it's in your purse, whether it's in your backpack. Like I said, you can have it in your car. And understand the process, lay, spray, and stay. And so it's one of those kind of things where we, as a collective group of humans, need to be ready to help another person.
Look out for each other.
Yeah, look out for each other.
Well,
we done got away from looking out for each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, people want to keep things separate, but we got one planet, one life to live.
Yeah.
Why not enjoy it to the fullest with everybody that's on the planet? Why not share? Sharing is caring.
Emmitt Smith is like a modern-day Santa Claus. You're the nicest guy ever.
Hey, I'm nice to the point you make me mad.
No.
I mean, put me on a football field and I got to be intense.
No. You were never nice there.
That's life itself. But
I don't do drugs, thankfully. But nothing would be better if I had such a great night that I got messed up and Emmitt Smith saved my life.
You might not remember it. You might not remember it.
I know I'm
messed up.
I know I'm messed up because Emmitt Smith just came and saved my life.
I do have one more question.
Yes, sir.
I have a thorn in my side in Tampa by a gentleman named Tyrus O'Neal. I don't know if you're familiar with him, being a Gator.
Yeah.
He was a mediocre football player, right? He wasn't that good.
You said that to Titus to his face.
I sent it over the phone.
He might pick you up and body slam you.
I'm kidding.
I know you are.
I'm a little jealous of Titus because he came to my town a couple years ago and has quickly become Mr. Tampa. He is.
He's the king
I'm
of Tampa,
sick
man.
of seeing his beautiful bald face everywhere. Everybody loves him. I'm trying to start a new trend. I'm the only one that doesn't like him.
It's amazing what WWE would do for you,
right? Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Well, Emmitt Smith, I got to tell you, this is certainly a treat, and I appreciate you coming over here and making time to sit down with us. And Narcan, it's available. You can get it, I would assume, most pharmacies.
You can get it over the pharmacy.
Be ready.
It's over the counter.
And be ready.
Yeah.
And how great would that be if I'd be like, I saved somebody's life? Because Emmitt
how
Smith told me
great would
how
it be if you were prepared and you had walked down the street and you had it in your backpack and you pulled it out?
Yeah.
And you saved somebody's life.
I would feel like a
Imagine.
champion. And I would sing it from the tires. I am a hero, thanks to Emmitt Smith. Thank you, brother. We'll take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone.
Thank you.
It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. We are live at Radio Row in New Orleans as our time ticks down. I think like today was our day to go out and party.
Yeah.
Because you guys have gone out. I have not gone out.
I've gone out every night.
You have. You really have. You're a trooper.
Well, last night Carmen and I went out, and then Mike and Joe, and you guys went back to looking for Tom, I think, for a long time.
We walked, Gio. We were 1 block away from where Tom was when we quit. We only walked like 2 blocks, and we were 1 block short of where he was, and we waited for him 20 minutes to go around the block to pick us up because of traffic.
We've been to like 3 bars. We hung out, and then Tom texted me, goes, I just got him.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was like a long time ago.
It was wild.
They're going to be so pissed.
Yeah.
My back hurt so bad, and I was like, I just want to go home.
You should have come to Oz with us.
Oh, you went back to the gay club?
Yeah.
Yep. I got to tell you, I was feeling a little bit down, like I didn't feel good. And Emmitt Smith just got me all hyped up again. Now
Do the
I'm
Narcan.
going to take a shot of that Narcan. Go out there.
I don't know whether it's recreational, guys.
Lay, pray, and stay. Or
Try
something
it.
like that. Yeah. That's so funny. Imagine just being so messed up on drugs, and then Emmitt Smith comes over and shoots a Narcan up your nose.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I swear that was Emmitt Smith. Galvin, we have Sunday, we have the big game, the Bowl of Super.
Yes.
That everybody is going to be betting on at Hard Rock Bet. I have been very forthcoming to say that I am betting on the Eagles to win. I think that this is Saquon Barkley's day to shine, and I believe that even given 1 point, it is in the favor of the Eagles. But everybody that we talked to here at Radio Row, from Warren Sapp to Gerald McCoy and everybody said that you cannot deny history, and that the Kansas City Chiefs and the having been there and done it so many times, that you bet with the winners, and they all think that the Chiefs are going to win, which hopefully makes me a lot more money.
So here's the thing with the teams. Right now, you're looking at Kansas City to win is at minus 120.
So what does that mean?
So that means if you bet 100, you'll win 120.
Right.
Okay? But if you, like you say, the Phillies are going to win.
Nope, the Eagles are going to win.
I mean, the Phillies. The Eagles are going to win.
It's been a long week.
Yeah. That's going to be plus 100. So you bet 100, you'd win 200. You're going to double your money there. All right. The total for the over-under is at 48.5 points. Over that is...
let me let that digest for a second. The total for the over-under is 48.5 points. That's 21. That's 20 is 42, 43, 45. I say take the under.
Okay, well, the over is at minus 110, and the under is at minus 110. Okay,
right.
So either way you go there. And then you have the spread. You have Kansas City minus 1 is at minus 110, and the Eagles are plus 1, and that is at minus 110.
So my bet would be Eagles to win, Saquon Barkley to score an anytime touchdown, and probably take the under.
Okay, hold on. Let me get that. I'll tell you exactly what you're going to get.
I like
you say the under, and you say Saquon Barkley with an anytime touchdown.
Saquon anytime touchdown, the under 48.5 or whatever it was, and the Eagles to win.
Ooh, if you bet 100, you would win 575.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if I bet 1,000?
If you bet 1,000,
I win 5,075.
You figured it out, man. You figured it out.
Pretty good at math.
Yeah.
It's the Narcan.
Yeah. Okay, so then I have some prop bets for you guys.
Okay.
These are different things. I like to give these out because I like to give stats out because stats hit a lot. I gave out some NBA stuff last night, went 4 for 5. Okay.
Galvin's doing a good thing. Instead of giving you the bets, he's giving you the stats so that you can make the decision for yourself.
Right.
This is a guy who's had 14 assists in the last 2 games. It's a good chance he's going to get an assist in this game, and then you decide what you want to do.
But not even last 2 games. I like to go for longer. You know, if it happened 9 out of 10 times, it's probably going to happen again.
Yeah.
So some of the different ones that I have is P. Ryan. I have him at over 6.5 receiving yards. He's done it 9 out of the last 10 games.
Okay.
All right. If he gets over 6.5 receiving yards, that's minus 120.
Okay.
So those are pretty good odds there. Then you have Jalen Hurts. By the way, let me point out, this is the big game. It's always crazy in the big game, but this has happened through the playoffs, and this has been going on. So these are the stats that have been happening. 8 out of 8 of the last games, Jalen Hurts has had under 34.5 yards for his longest completion.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so longest completion, under 34.5 yards, that's plus 100. So you can double your money there. So if you bet 100, you're going to win 200 on that one. The last 5 out of 5 games, Saquon Barkley has had over 112.5 rushing yards. Those odds are minus 110.
So wait, he's had over 112.
Over 112.5 rushing yards in the last 5 out of 5 games.
I'd be curious to see how he did, what his stats are against Kansas
KC?
City.
Yeah.
Just to see how, because, you know, like Gio
and what they
pointed
played
out,
last.
Tampa shut him down. He can be stopped, you know.
He can.
I don't think he will be. I think he's fueled by the Giants, and I think he's got a lot to prove.
Also, I think also in the big games he really comes through, you know.
If they win the Super Bowl, the Giants should clear house and from the top to the bottom should fire everybody. That's the worst team in football. They can't get a quarterback locked in. They can't get anything going on. And Saquon Barkley, they just let him walk right across to the rivals. That is the biggest mistake.
He was also like number 1 in jersey sales for Giants.
Yeah, he was the guy.
The face of the franchise. And
what was it? They couldn't lock down a contract. They didn't.
He was asking for more money than they thought. So they wanted him to go test the market. So instead of giving him a deal, go out there, see what people offer you, let us match it. Well, he didn't let them match it. The Eagles said, we'll pay this.
The general manager said,
yeah,
if he goes somewhere, that's fine. If he goes to the Eagles, that would hurt.
And
that is hurt.
It was like $1 million difference to go to the Eagles. But the fact that they didn't believe in you, you're like, screw you.
And for only $1 million, when we're talking about multi-million-dollar deals,
right?
Screw you.
This is the way I feel about Joe. Nobody believes in Joe except for me. You're worth it, Joe. You're my guy.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. So I'm looking for the last time the Chiefs and the Eagles did not play this season, right?
I don't think so.
Chiefs and the Eagles did not play this season. So they played. They did not have Saquon, so that's not
it doesn't apply.
Not relevant. Yeah. And then this one I have.
Well, you're a regular Jimmy the Greek. You can get the stats and everything.
How you like that?
Uh-huh.
8 out of 8 last games, Patrick Mahomes has not thrown an interception. Okay, so the under on half an interception, meaning he won't throw an interception, the odds are minus 135 on that.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so those are 4 stats for you. 9 out of 10, 8 out of 8, 5 out of 5, 8 out of 8. Things that have happened in the past. Will they happen again? Who knows?
Do you know what you're doing yet?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to tell anybody?
I mean, that's
I
kind of
I would say it with a disclaimer if you want to say it, but if not, you could just decide at the last
Thanks a
minute.
lot, man. I took your bet and I lost.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I'm going to tell you some of those are in my parlay that I have.
That's what I want to do, a parlay.
Yeah.
I want to win. I want to win.
And
some
the
money.
thing about those stats that I just gave you, don't parlay those together. I'm not telling you to do that. If you
Right.
want to do that, you can do that. But also, if you have something you think, hey, this is probably going to hit, and then you go, well, that's plus 100 for Jalen Hurts to have under 34.5 longest completion, I'm going to throw that together.
Yeah.
Or bet them individually and do a parlay.
yeah,
kind of backing up your stuff. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I couldn't care less about an Eagles Kansas City Super Bowl. I just want to do it. When you bet on it, it just makes it way more exciting.
Yeah, and I can tell you that Hard Rock Bet makes it so easy for you. You can go in there, you can find all the different stuff. They have Super Bowl specials, they have bonus bets, they have all different stuff that you can get in there. So download Hard Rock Bet now.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Who was your favorite guest that we had here?
Favorite guest? I got to tell you, I thought John Randle was great. I thought that Wirfs was great.
Yeah, Wirfs I think was the most important. But
I was really geeking out for Bussin' with the Boys.
Bussin' with the Boys,
yeah.
Taylor Lewan, Will
Yeah.
Compton. I'm just such a big fan of those guys, so I was really enjoying that.
I like that they were ball busters. You know what I mean?
Oh,
That
yeah.
They can give it back to you. Nobody wants to sit here and be like, "Oh, tell me about
Yeah.
that." You know?
The minute I saw them, I went right over to them. I knew they'd be great if we
Yeah.
got them, and they came right over.
I think when you said you were a big pussy, they were like, okay.
Right. That's usually when I float that out there. They usually let somebody at ease. They know what kind of show that they're dealing with. So, what is our plan? What are we doing? What are we doing tonight? I feel like I'm getting Emmitt Smith's second win.
You think so?
I don't know, man. Maybe if I take a nap today.
Go home, take a nap. We'll Narcan you to wake you up, and then
Yeah.
You said that last night. You had a bowl of gumbo, and then that was it.
Can I tell you? I think that's the big thing. If we're gonna eat, we're gonna eat early.
Yeah.
Don't eat like right before we go out, because otherwise, snoozy Susie.
The thing was though is that I had a bowl of soup. You know what I mean? And also, it was like we'd been up for so long. We've been up for 13 hours, so like working for 13 hours. So I was pretty much wiped out at that point, and I didn't really. Once the Gruden thing wrapped up and all that, I was like, I don't know. The more we walked down the streets, the people, and there was a guy who was, or it was actually a fat girl who was driving one of those slingshot cars and blasting her stereo, and I hated it. I hated here. I hated everything about it. I just hate people in general.
I will say we did talk about where we want to go tonight, and Joe and I.
I'm saying Oz or nothing.
Oh, so
I've already been there.
Yeah, so Joe and I think not Bourbon Street. We go to French Street, Frenchman.
The mic's
What's
right
the
there,
Frenchman?
and he can't pick up the stupid mic.
What is the
It's
Frenchman?
right here.
Do? What is the Frenchman?
He's
What is
talking
the
to you,
Frenchman?
Joe.
Yes.
What is the Frenchman?
Yep, there you go. It's not working. It's not working.
I hear you.
Oh, it's not?
I hear you.
I don't.
Oh.
He's on.
Okay.
I
Go
can't
ahead.
hear him at all.
It's better.
Okay.
It's still bar after bar.
Right, but it's less popular.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's kind of like Fremont Street in Vegas. Everybody goes to the Strip. Cool people go to Fremont.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Locals.
Only because last night when we were walking down Bourbon Street, literally there's so many people out there, but they are all just filming and taking pictures and making content. No one's really drinking.
Yeah.
And it's just so like, look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. Wait, I got to
mean,
fix
basically-
myself.
Everybody's
Basically
gonna be a star.
What Carmen's been doing?
Yeah.
Listen,
I think that these guys from Dallas over here next to us called me a shock jock on the show.
Oh.
Because they said the return of the shock jock because I blew my nose, and I think they thought I was trying to be shocking, but I was really just blowing my nose.
Oh,
Like, I think
brother.
they thought that I was doing it to them.
Yeah.
Well, I
The
don't
fact
me to
that they
say
called
something?
you a shock jock makes
Yeah.
you know everything you need to know.
I
about
just
that.
had to blow my nose. I'm
By
sorry.
the way,
I actually,
shock
actually
jock-
said sorry after I sorry.
Are you talking about the table that has a baby on their thing? Shut up.
I don't know that they're necessarily.
Yeah, I think the sports guys definitely look down on us.
Oh, I don't care.
I don't care either.
Yeah.
Because we're not.
I
That
look-
I will
I
not
look down on
concede.
them.
TV, I will concede.
I look
Sports
down
guy,
on them
no.
from the second story of my mansion.
Yes,
You ever, you ever see a sports guy get smacked in the mouth?
I don't know one successful sports guy, like local sports guy. Sports
No.
radio guy, sports TV guy.
No, I
like when you're a kid, you think like Warner Wolf was the guy. When I was a kid, he invented Swish and all that stuff, and he was the guy. But I remember going to the city one time and I saw him sitting at a bar by himself, and I went, "What a loser!"
Yeah, the first big sports guy I remember, Jim Rome. Like I thought Jim Rome was big. And he
Jim
is
Rome
big.
was the first big money guy
Probably,
that I liked.
yeah,
that
yeah.
I liked, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I thought he was going to be here.
He probably is in the city, but how the mighty have fallen, though. Jim Rome, remember when he was the top of the world? And
Oh,
then
yeah.
all of a sudden now, nobody cares about Jim Rome.
Yeah.
But also, you got to think like the big sports guys now are people that played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it makes more sense because why are you going to listen to a guy that never made it into the league that can barely run a mile himself compared to a guy that's
I don't
actually?
know why you got to bring me into this.
I know a lot of the stuff out here now, like the players are doing their own podcasts.
Right.
So people you'd want to
like
get
Shedeur
on.
Sanders is doing his own podcast.
Yeah,
He's
Shedeur
not even
Sanders.
playing.
Yeah, he was doing a podcast. Travis Hunter did a podcast over here. Had a
Cam
bunch-
Hayward, that's where I met him.
Cam Newton had his podcast. They had Stephen A. on.
Yeah.
So like those guys are not going to. They want to get their own content. They're not coming over to help us out.
Yeah, I
So-
wonder if anybody's making money off of those things. Like, what could Shedeur Sanders be making off that podcast that
A
he
lot.
needs? But, I mean, is he, though? I
Yeah.
mean, he's got plenty of money from other things.
But that's what I'm saying. He's one of the highest paid NIL players in the.
But that's what I'm saying. So do you think that he's making enough money on the podcast to make it worth doing?
Yes, because a lot of his all of his
Advertisers,
all the sponsors and stuff go through his podcast.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And the younger kids,
I'm
they-
thinking clicks, and that's not what I would.
Like my son thinks Shedeur Sanders, he's awesome.
Yeah, so
like
is
they
mine.
watch the videos, they think he's the
I
coolest
sent
thing ever.
the picture of Shedeur Sanders to my son, and he wrote back, "Sick."
Yeah.
How do you like that?
Yeah.
How do you like that?
That's really my whole goal this trip. I've been trying to take pictures that my kids will think are cool.
I waited to take a picture with Seth Rollins, like a little like a little groupie, and I said, I just want to take. I told the guy his handler, I go, I just want to take a picture so my son thinks I'm cool for a second. He goes, I get you. I said,
And you lied. It
I
was
know,
all for you.
because my son doesn't care about
Yeah,
Seth
exactly.
Rollins.
So Bussin' with the Boys, they put us on their social media,
Yeah.
and that's how my son found out that they were on the show, and he was freaking out.
Did
He's
he
like,
say sick? 'Cause
Oh,
my son
yeah,
also
yeah,
said
yeah,
sick.
yeah. He said, "Holy."
Oh, excuse me.
speaking
I'm
of
sorry.
sick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jeez, they're sick.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm a
At least
little sick.
Mine wasn't contagious.
He's not going out.
Yeah.
No
Oh, I
way.
I don't
No
think
way.
I think you're the only one going out.
You said gumbo, and I felt like throwing up.
Oh.
I felt like more gumbo.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I
why-
could be persuaded. Carmen did bring me beignets last night.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He asked
No,
multiple
I demanded.
times. Yeah.
They said, "Don't come back without beignets."
And he asked, and he demanded multiple times. So we went and got beignets, which I wanted to go back there anyway for coffee, like the
Yeah.
canned coffee.
So were you all just fat and sassy in your bed, kicking your feet together and eating beignets?
Covered in powdered sugar.
Yeah.
When I walked in, he had his mask on.
What's
You
so
just,
funny? I
you
was
just put it in the hose, sunk like a bank tube. He just sucked the beignet in like a bank tube, sunk. One more, Carmen, one more, sunk.
And then just went back to sleep.
Yeah.
What a bunch of
Giving the
jackals.
elephant his peanuts. Oh, that's hilarious.
I ate
Right
it.
now, run to the serious side.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Challenge.
Oh, I would admit I was not. Keep your 1,000 out of this. I looked at it and I was like, I'm just gonna take a little dainty bite of it, and then I took a little bite, and it was like a mountain of sugar on me. I went, all right, so then I just let it pile up on the blanket, and then I went, poof, and popped the blanket on the side. It's all over the floor.
You're like
This is
LeBron
great.
James starting the
Yeah.
starting the game.
You're eating beignets. I'm eating burgers. Like this is great.
We're back,
burger
baby.
again?
Of course.
Oh yeah, 3 nights in a row with the burgers.
I've had a great time on this trip.
Listen, I did really good up until yesterday. Yesterday was my
Yeah.
first day that I went off a little bit, so I'm all right.
I've just been killing jambalaya.
Yeah.
I have had jambalaya at every meal. I love
Is it
it.
different in each
Different.
restaurant?
It's different.
Yeah.
Really?
Last night was a little drier. The first night was a little spicier. Yeah, it's different in each one.
Yeah.
They're all great though. They're all great.
Good. All right. Well, this has been a huge success. I can't thank the folks at Bud Light and Hard Rock Bet enough for helping us make this trip possible. And there's a couple unsung heroes on this trip. Of course, Tom. Tom is an unsung hero.
Tom. Unsung.
Tom
Unsung.
does so much.
Dr. Nude.
He's an unhung hero.
For those of you who missed it, Tom and Galvin accidentally saw Tom naked.
Yeah,
That was
accidentally
one of
on
the
my
highlights.
part.
Right.
On purpose on his part, I'm pretty sure.
You were in his bedroom. He
Yeah,
said.
apparently.
He's been like, I've been waiting in here for a half hour for Carmen to walk down.
By the way, he did that to me in the van this morning, too. Sorry, boss. Honk, honk.
And Mike Olivero, if he didn't get us to come here the day before, I don't know that we would have made it on the air.
Oh, yeah.
I've been saying that every day, that it was a complete game changer to get here a day early, because we would have been total disaster.
And obviously, we're trying to tape as many interviews as we can. So sometimes we had to pre-record one so that we could tape another one while that one's running. And, there were a couple of hiccups here and there, but those things are to be expected on a broadcast. Thanks to Johnny B for killing it, keeping us on
And
the air.
they're juggling. He was juggling on a unicycle and
At
doing
6 o'clock
everything.
in the morning.
Yeah, it was good work, Johnny.
I asked Johnny B, I go, how you liking morning radio? How's it working out for you, man?
It sucks, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate everything.
That's an honor, man. I'm glad I could help.
And of course to Melanie Martin for getting us here. Without her, we would not be here. So.
Hard Rock Bed and Bud Light.
And
Dylan and Mike
engineers,
Cernak. They really helped us a lot.
Thank you, Gio. They both just put their bullet down.
Yeah,
they both were like, "Oh, really? Oh, really?"
Like
I'm
leading
sorry.
up to it, they worked several hours, days to try and get Joe set up and this set up and make sure we knew how to get the broadcast. So
Joe,
they are.
I mean, here we are at day 3. You did it. You did it.
Did he? Are we sure? Has anyone checked on YouTube or
I mean, I just
OTV?
assume. I know there was a lot of static pictures up there today because we had a lot of pre-recorded stuff. But you did it, Joe. You kept us live. Thank you. Even though Gio. Yep. Well, it's not over yet. There's always tonight. But if you go
Uptick.
down, I got the Narcan. So yeah.
Joe's on the uptick. By the way, when we came in this morning, Joe was sleeping under the chair.
I went to go sit down, and he goes, I'm just grabbing 20 wings, Mike.
20 wings. Thank you to Corey Cardinal and Chase and Promotions. They helped a lot of the graphics and stuff too. Yeah. Corey, I called Corey a couple times for some help on some things. So.
Chase, not so much.
Yeah.
Joe, you're like Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah, every time you fall asleep, your hair grows a little longer.
Joe's fading. This morning he was fading. He's like, I'm ready to go home. He's not drinking tonight.
What?
Oh,
French
every
man.
night he hasn't been drinking until you put the pressure. You put
Yeah.
the screws to him.
Every night we sat down at the table to eat dinner, and somebody was like, they're like, drinks? And I go, I'll have a Diet Coke. And they're like, Bud Light, Bud Light, Bud Light, Bud Light. And we're like, all right, I guess we'll have 7 Bud Lights. So that's been how it's been going the whole time we've been here.
Yeah.
So who's to say tonight? Gio?
Yeah. I get somewhat offended.
I'm in tonight.
No
Can
way.
I tell you
if
what?
I take a nap, I'll be in tonight.
No
Can
way.
I tell you what complements Cajun food? A nice ice cold Bud Light.
Oh,
They
yeah.
go down smooth, man.
This is the most I've seen Galvin drink in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since Ireland.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are done. This has been a successful broadcast. The after show with Johnny B is up next. I think, did we play the Ed McCaffrey interview?
We did not.
Johnny B, you have that option if you'd like to play the interview with Ed McCaffrey, the wide receiver, the father of Christian McCaffrey. We talked to him, and we were able to tape that. So if you want to play that interview, feel free to do that.
All right, sounds good.
These interviews will live on theboneonline.com and on YouTube if you want to go watch them so that you can keep, if there's anything you missed and you want to see, or you want to see Emmitt's face when I got really close to him and said, let me take a look at you. You'll be able to see all this stuff. Tristan Wirfs, Bussin with the boys. If you didn't see Paige Spiranac, you should see what she looks like. That is one fine-looking woman.
Yeah, they're taking all the videos that Joe did, and they're putting them back up and cutting them up and doing all kind of stuff as well. So.
Usually when we're in the studio, we're all wearing headsets, and I fart. Nobody hears me because I'm wearing headsets. I just farted really loud and forgot that there's a million other people around me.
Yeah.
I think
Shock Jock.
Yeah.
That guy.
Denver.
Sorry.
Shock Jock.
Yeah. And that's it. Live from Radio Row in New Orleans for Super Bowl 59 is the Mike Calta Show. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, we'll see you on
Monday.
And we'll talk Super Bowl on Monday morning. Goodbye.